Broadcasting live, Full Velocity TV begins now.
It is hot in the desert, and it is going to be on your screens. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Full Velocity TV tonight at the ISM Raceway out in Phoenix, Arizona. Great to have you all aboard here live for the show tonight. Race number 9 of the 2018 FTF Verizon Cup Series playoffs. It is elimination night. Tonight we are going to take the final 8 drivers down to that coveted Final 4 in 2 weeks at the Homestead Miami Speedway, and we are thrilled to have you all aboard here tonight. The Shadow Hart 175 of the ISM Raceway. Phil Lacasse here, along with my broadcast partner, the Marshal Todd Stanton, down there in the Full Velocity TV booth. And Todd, a really nice-looking racetrack. This racetrack was released to us, probably maybe about 85, 90 minutes ago, and this thing looks really nice. I hope these guys out there are ready for it, because it is going to be really good racing, and it looks like these guys are going to be out there slipping and sliding. This is going to be a lot of fun. Duel in the desert here this evening.
Yeah, a lot of great work went into this track here, Phil. Like you said, 85, 90 minutes ago, this track was released here, and we got the track, had to have a few other issues ironed out. They got it out here, and beautifully prepared track. I tell you what, the MIP files to everything through this track. Hats off to their track builder. I believe it's Adam Kodal who actually made this track here this evening, and it's a fantastic-looking track, Phil, to say the least.
Yeah, it really is. Adam did a great job. Got to thank Andrew Swartz as well. I think he helped solve the pit road issues. This track's still in kind of a beta form. They'll finish this thing up, but this thing is race ready. We are thrilled to have you aboard for what is going to be a hot 175 laps here tonight out in Phoenix, Arizona. Said it is elimination night where we take 8 drivers down to 4. And looking at the way these standings roll in before we get racing here this evening, current point leader is the number 36 car of Taylor Morgan's. He has advanced his way to Homestead next week. I believe by way of a start tonight, Kevin McAdams, who's 28 points above the cut line in the 26 car, he will also advance onto Homestead. This is where it gets murky. From third place on back, you have Cosman. He's 16 points to the good. Corey Carpenter sits on that cut line. He has a 4-point advantage over the number 43 of Kyle Riley, 6 points back to both Brandon Lawson and Justin Malello, and a good distance back to Tyler Head, who needs to win to advance to Homestead next week. But it is going to be anybody's race here tonight. We're going to highlight those 8 drivers and the progress of what those guys do all evening long out here in Phoenix. I hope you're ready for one great night, Todd. I think we're going to have some really great racing on our hands.
As we see everything on the screen here, playoff standings as they complete after 34 of 36 here. Texas Motor Speedway was the completion of last week, like you said, Phil. Top 8 are up on the board. Also, those who were eliminated out all the way from the round of 16. Also, we have other competitions that are going on, other playoff implications that are out there here, Phil. And we're going to go to the next slide here. Owners and team standing. And look at that, True North Motorsports now by 21 points, excuse me, as the wrong owners and standings is up there. We'll get that back to you. I know it's 61 points between Hughes, Ram, Cent, and Speed Inc. right now. So we'll get that graphic updated here momentarily, Phil, and then hopefully we'll be able to get that. But I know True North has 21 points over Hughes, Ram, Cent, and that's the 36 of Taylor Morgan's in that 36. So then you got the number 9, 30, 53. Those guys all stayed the same, just different points gaps between them.
All right, well, we're about 60 seconds plus away from getting these cars on the grid for 175 laps around the ISM Raceway. So without further ado, why don't we pay homage on this Veterans Day and pay tribute to the greatest country on earth, the United States of America, and the playing of our national anthem. All right, the national anthem getting it started here on this very special, important Veterans Day. Got to thank all the veterans out there. We salute you all today that keep us safe. Those who are serving or have served, our hearts and prayers are all with you guys today in a boast of gratitude. So we are here tonight at the ISM Raceway, about to go green for the Shadow Hart 175 here. Going to plug our sponsors, Spatafora Firearms and DirtSeries.com. We will tell you a lot more about those products all evening long here live on Full Velocity TV. We're about to get 27 cars under the green flag for 175 laps. So let's go trackside.
Drivers, start your engines.
The command to fire engines has been given, and this is the way they're going to come to post on the pole. Is going to be car number 26. That is Kevin McAdams. Going for 2 on the outside, the 25. That is Brandon Hawken. Row number 2 on the inside. Guy with everything to lose and gain here tonight. The number 30 of Corey Carpenter rolls off 3rd. Jordan Buster rolls off 4th. He's in the 8 car. Tom Sylvain makes a rare appearance tonight at FTF. He's aboard car number 2. Alongside the 39 is Arnold Columbia. Starting 7th, the 44 of Brian Mercurio. Next door to him, the 71 car is Chris Wetz. Dylan Smith will start tonight in position number 9. He is in car number 1. And alongside a championship contender here, the number 9 is Brandon Lawson. Tyler Head, Joey Bailey, Cosman, Justin Malello, Ryan Araki make up your top 15. Dylan Schwallenberg, Kyle Riley, Zach Buchanan, Tyler Mallon, Jake Poulin. That rounds out your top 20, followed by John Green, Sonny Tallman, Mike Fallon, Andrew Swartz, Zachary Stoltz, Michael Frisch, and Taylor Morgan starting deep in the field here tonight. He's going to start 27th. So with this new layout of the racetrack, we are about set to go for 175 laps. Todd Stanton, the Shadow Hart 175 is green.
Green flag is in the air. Different camera angles here tonight. Kind of struggling because we got the track kind of light with camera angles. The 26 of Kevin McAdams dives down to the bottom here early here. You're going to see him come down below the apron just a little bit. 25 of Hawken right now on the top shelf of the speedway. Side by side here, Phil, for the lead for between the 25 and the 26.
25 of Hawken up high. McAdams number 26 there. Those guys will race for the lead off of what is now turn number 1. This now is the front stretch here, the kink, and for years we've called it the front stretch, the back stretch. I am all sorts of goofed up. I know the guys out there in TV were as well. I think we're going to butcher this all night long, but as I now head down the back stretch here into what is now turns number 3 and 4, we'll put this, second lap up on the board. Kevin McAdams with the lead over Brandon Hawken. Jordan Buster's up to 3rd. Corey Carpenter, he's right there 4th, but he's going to look to the low side down through the kink on the front stretch toward turn 1.
Yeah, Corey Carpenter right now working over the bottom of the number 8 of Jordan Buster. Corey Carpenter is one of those drivers that is mired back there 3rd, 4th in the championship hunt here, and he does not have much above that cutoff line. He has to do everything he can to finish up in front of all those other drivers. Number 30 of Corey Carpenter right now running in that 4th spot, Phil.
Absolutely right, running in that 4th spot, and needs to probably do just exactly what he's doing here tonight, is just log laps here at the ISM Raceway and finish this thing in one piece. He is 4 points above that cut line over guys like Kyle Riley. You find Brandon Lawson back there, Justin Malello. Those guys will be knocking on the heels of Corey Carpenter all night long. Is now lap number 4 to the racetrack. We have not talked any at all about the stages here tonight there, Todd, as we have a race for that 4th spot. Arnold Columbia going to come to the inside of Corey Carpenter. That's racing for position number 4 is the 39. Going to come to the inside. The 30 slides up the hill, gets back in the gas, and that's a good drag race now as they head down off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. But stage lengths here. 40 laps for stage 1, 40 laps for stage number 2, and 95 laps will round out the night here tonight. So 3 stages of racing. I guess, Todd, for all year long, you could think playoff points are such a premium, but these guys tonight, playoff points can matter. They need a good finish most of all.
Yeah, playoff points are going to indeed matter for, especially, like you said, the 4th place is on the cutoff line all the way back through there. There's like 9 points separating those guys, Phil, so anything can go there. Don't count out Cosman either. Cosman right there about 16 points above that cutoff line. So those guys right now are in danger here. They got to have good finishes here tonight. Good battles going on throughout the field right now. Brandon Lawson now down below the number 2 of Tom Sylvain. Sylvain back with us here on Full Velocity TV, back with FTF, making the rare appearance here and doing a fantastic job right now running in the 6th position.
And I believe that's a new paint scheme out there on the number 9. I don't remember seeing that one before. That's a pretty nice looking car Brandon's got out there this evening. Great to see Brandon up there running now, currently in the 7th position. Him and Sylvain been racing for 7th. Tom right now going to hold that position, but Brandon Lawson, one of those guys, 6 points behind the cutoff line. I wonder if he's feeling that pressure, Todd, of tonight of, needing to not only have a good finish. Do you think guys like him and Justin, and maybe even Kyle for that matter, are they worried about points, or are they thinking we need to go up there and secure our spot, maybe go up there and get a win?
Well, those guys got to be thinking about it here in the back of their head. They want to make the Final Four here at FTF. That's pretty prestigious here to make that Final Four, and yet alone try to win a championship here. We've seen a lot of guys try and fail here on Full Velocity TV and any other broadcast company that we have been a part of, Phil. And it's just been a lot of trial and error for some of these guys. They want to get to the Final Four. You could call yourself the best 4 drivers in FTF, at least for a year, as these guys fighting tooth and nail. I want to go out there and try to win the race, but I'm going to try to look in my mirror, look at the standings, try to have my spotter tell me, let me know where all the other playoff contenders are running around me.
Yeah, we'll pay attention to that all night long. I think I found a battle back here with a pair of championship contenders as we speak. I see the number 43 of Kyle Riley. He's inside the 64 of Tyler Head. Tyler is the 8th driver that's able to make it onto Homestead here tonight, but he missed last week's race at Texas. So what he's going to have to do here tonight, he is that driver, Todd, that certainly needs to have a win to advance that David Sunflower Seeds forward. Tyler right now currently running in that 15th position. He's got Kyle Riley up ahead. Another championship contender, Cosman. He is right all over his neck. Cosman's 24, currently running 16th. They raced down the backstretch.
Yeah, racing down the back straightaway, just watching these guys go to town. I believe I'm watching the 79 way up here. It's Joey Bailey. Bailey right now looking to the inside of the number 1 machine. The number 1 being driven by Dylan Smith here this evening is that hug machine. As Joey Bailey able to get around him. The 1 stuck up on the top shelf of the speedway. That's currently a battle for the 9th position as the 1 bounces it off the wall just a little bit there, Phil. But it's rather interesting to watch some of these battles going on. A lot of these guys that aren't championship contenders got to be mindful a little bit of what's going on with the red FTF rising on the windshield of their car. You're going to see some of these guys all the way through the field, and they're going to be sprinkled. There's 8 of them left here tonight, and some of these guys, Phil, if I see one of those guys, I'm not going to roll over and die. I'm going to give them a great race, but you got to be mindful. These guys are contending for a championship.
Oh, absolutely right, and especially in an elimination scenario like these guys are tonight. If you see one of these guys around you, if you cut them any kind of slack at all, I think the right thing to do is absolutely do that, because nothing sucks worse than a guy being wrecked by somebody not racing for a championship, having somebody's championship dreams get off and dashed like that. So we don't want to see anything like that happen. Absolutely not. So, checking back up to the front of the field, it's still Kevin McAdams, a good little healthy 0.7 of a second lead over the number 25 car of Brandon Hawken. 3rd place is Jordan Buster. He is 2.6 seconds behind our current race leader. Carpenter now, he going to roll to the inside, put Corey Carpenter up to that 3rd spot. So the 30, one of those guys said on the cut line, I know a good top 3 finisher probably secure his place in, but Corey's not a guy who I don't think is content to sit there and ride for 3rd. If he can go up there and try to win a race, I think like hell he'll do that.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you, Phil. I think he's going to try to win the race here. That would put the exclamation point, the stamp there, to making sure that he's coming into Homestead. That gives you all kinds of momentum. Looks like yellow flag going to fly here for the first time of the evening, Phil. Not sure what brought out this yellow flag, but I'm sure there's some context somewhere here at IMS.
Yeah, look around where the 01 of Michael Frisch is. I think that's where you'll find our first caution flag of the night. No, he's definitely involved. So that will put us under the yellow flag for lap number 16 here tonight for the Shadow Hart 175 at the ISM Raceway. Got to give a shout to all you guys watching out there. Facebook Live, YouTube is hopping as always, like any night, Sunday night we come to FTF. And of course, they're out there on Twitch TV. And we're going to have a lot of cool things in store for Twitch TV, including the Race Shop podcast coming up and maybe a couple other different features that you may have to pay attention to for the rest of this week. We may have something cool planned. So absolutely have to keep an eye on that. But Todd, believe you're down there for the first time tonight. A Full Velocity TV replay sponsored by Spatafora Firearms. What do you got for us?
Yeah, our Spatafora Firearms, so instant replay here, and we're watching the 64 and the 01 of Michael Frisch. Frisch gets into the back just barely. It almost looks like he took the wind or the downforce off the rear spoiler. Around goes Tyler Head. Head goes around, and I believe he makes slight contact to that wall. Yep, slight contact. He's able to get on the brakes just a little bit. Michael Frisch made him go around there just a little bit, but Tyler had no worse for the wear right now, but 8th place in points, and he's got to win this race in order to lock himself into Homestead after missing Texas last week, Phil. So that's not a good start to that.
No, not at all, not at all. And that's going to put Tyler behind the 8 ball and said he's a guy needing to win to advance to Homestead next week. Certainly not going to, it's going to hamper his chances for sure. That's something we want to kind of see for him. I don't want to be in that scenario if I'm in this situation at all. So under the yellow flag for the first time tonight, we said our first replay brought to you by our friends over at Spatafora Firearms, of course. That is our good buddy, always out there lurking in YouTube, Brendan the Gent. Spatafora Firearms, located in Troutman, North Carolina. Find his great-looking website, spataforafirearms.com. A great selection of product there, all out there for you. Take a look at the website, and you want to give Brendan a call? You can do that by calling area code 908-331-3326. Once again, that is area code 908-331-3326, and visit them on our website, spataforafirearms.com.
Yeah, always great to have all these sponsors involved here, Phil, in Full Velocity TV. Special thanks to Brendan the Gent out there in YouTube, usually out there following us along. At least we're either watching our replay live or watching the replay there, Phil, and gotta thank him enough. Can't thank him enough here. These guys are locked and loaded. Looks like they're double file already, Phil. Looks like we're going to go back to green flag racing here momentarily. Your top 10 right now, as they sit, should be the number 37, Ryan Naraki, the 26 machine of Kevin McAdams, Brandon Hawkins, Jordan Buster, Corey Carpenter, Tom Salvain, Brandon Lawson, Brian Mercurio, Joey Bailey, Arnold Columbia, and Jake Poulin. Your top 10. Green flag is in there, and we're back to racing once again here, Phil, as the number 26 machine of Kevin McAdams dives down here to turn number 1. And, man, I tell you what, Phil, this is so distracting, so used to Phoenix and how it's been laid out over the years, and now it's confusing me. Down the back straightaway now.
Yeah, down the back stretch into turn number 3 for these guys. And, yeah, up front, the McAdams machine there. Brandon Hawkins is there. Corey Carper, he having a good run there along with the 8 car of Jordan Buster. Brandon Lawson has worked his way to the top 5. And how about the run in the opening laps here for the 79 now of Joey Bailey? Joey starting to march his way up through the field. Now put him up to the top 5 as it looks like one car there got kind of a little bit out of shape. I'm not sure if you caught who that was there, Todd, but believe that was that the 2 of Sylvain? Somebody up in the top 5 got it all. That might have been Jordan Buster's 8 car that got up out of the groove and lost a couple of spots there.
Yeah, not sure did not get a chance to catch it. Going back to Joey Bailey here in the top 5 right now, peeking down to the inside, trying to get around the number 9 of Brandon Lawson. Lawson right now slamming that door shut there, trying to keep himself into contention here. He needs every point that he can get here this evening, Phil. So just these races we're going to have to watch really, really closely, as Brandon Lawson right now coming into this event was on the outside looking in.
Yes, he was, but he's having a great night so far. They're up at the top 5, currently running in the 4th spot, but now looking back here through good battle out of the inside. Bailey going to come to the inside of 9 of Lawson. A lot of tire smoke off of these cars, Todd. A new racetrack, a new version of Phoenix for us. Newly coined ISM Raceway, and you can see these guys, having to figure out where the break points are, how far these cars can enter the corner. You can see these guys get a little bit heavy, a little hard on the brakes. There's tire smoke all over the place here. These guys are doing a really good job, but it's Phoenix. It's a new racetrack to learn a new layout. It's always that typical, you're going to get tight through off of 2, off of 4. And now you talk about having the start-finish line right parked in the middle of what is 3 and 4. This brings an entire new dynamic here to Phoenix that we just haven't seen before. And it's really going to make for maybe some unique finishes, over the next couple of years, especially here tonight at FTF.
Yeah, it's going to be rather interesting here as these guys, I'm watching where their line is and where they've been running really strong. Just watched the 44 of Brian Mercurio do a power move on the outside. He was able to get around Jordan Buster there in that number 8 machine there, Phil. So it's rather interesting to see how these guys' lines have changed up. Joey Bailey down almost near the apron there, down by that yellow line. These guys do cut the corner, but not like they used to here. The 79 of Bailey right now trying to get around the number 9 of Brandon Lawson, not able to do so far, but I tell you what, Mercurio, probably the fastest car there amongst the top. I'm going to say the top. He's going to be the top 7, and that 44 machine is right now ran at 26.471. So he is indeed the fastest here in the top 10. That number 44 machine is on the move.
Yeah, he looked just put the eye test to be the fastest car out there. But I've been kind of watching along the number 30 of Corey Carpenter, Todd, up to the 3rd spot. He's able to drive away from the 9 of Brandon Lawson, the 79 of Joey Bailey there. But Corey's been starting to inch ever so closer to the number 25 of Brandon Hawken. Look for a battle going to be shaping up there as the 30 car drives it deep now into what we're going to call, what is that now, turn number 2. Call the kink turn 3 and call the engines of what the old turn 1, turn number 4. I'm not so sure I'm ever going to get used to this, Todd.
Eventually, it may take a couple of years to get used to that. Is now the 44 of Brian Mercurio able to work around the number 79 Joey Bailey. Bailey fires back on the outside. He's not going away that easily, though, Phil. As Bailey right now power move, and he gets all kinds out of shape there. That's going to allow Mercurio to get back up alongside him there in that number 44 machine. So we're watching lap times and just watching how fast that these guys are going out there on the speedway. Now, last time by, it was Kevin McAdams at 26.645. And then Brandon Hawken, 26.741. Corey Carpenter, 26.776. Carpenter a tick off of the top 2 guys, and right now comfortable right now in 3rd.
And I've been watching this good race going on for about the 6th position on back, 5th position on back. Joey Bailey, 79 car. You see Mercurio in there. Jordan Buster's 8 car. Tom Sylvania, the number 2. Arnold Columbia is there. That's a good 5-car race for that 4th spot right now being towed by Joey Bailey's number 79, but that is good racing going on in there. You see Mercurio, who has been running some of the fastest times on the racetrack, tucked up there. So good racing as they're all kind of looking for traction. They're all single file, but that is a really good pack of race cars. They're real close there as they exit turn 4.
Yeah, definitely real close. Watching Joey Bailey here as looks like Mercurio finally giving up there just a little bit in that 44 machine. Looks like, I think we're under yellow flag, Phil, as these guys are starting to slow down. Yellow flag number 2 here on lap 30.
Yeah, yellow flag on the speedway. This one looks like around the 67 car of Andrew Swartz, the 10 car of Dylan Schwallenberg involved. So that I give you the point of reference to go back and find our second caution flag of the night. Got to take a minute here under the caution flag to thank our other sponsors on Full Velocity TV. That, of course, DirtSeries.com. Those guys have come aboard here as a presenting sponsor for us. We're broadcasting the Pro versus Super Late Model Series every Thursday night live on Full Velocity TV. If you're an iRacer, look these guys up. DirtSeries.com, Dirt-Series.com. Search up for Dirt Series on Facebook and get a hold of these guys. Josh, Earl, Jameson, great folks. They'll take good care of you. You're out there looking for some great of the best of the online racing, iRacing dirt community out there. So got to thank those guys. But Todd under caution now for the 2nd time tonight. It looks like contact between the Schwartz machine and the 10 of Swallenberg. Show us what happened.
Yeah, indeed, there was contact between Schwartz and Swallenberg. Swallenberg up at the top side here in the 10. But look at Schwartz as he comes down onto the apron. The apron makes him loose. Sometimes the apron's bad here at Phoenix, I'm going to call it here tonight, is trying not to get used to the other one quite so yet. But the number 10 machine of Swallenberg actually pounds the outside wall. He was an innocent bystander running on the top side. Schwartz was trying to do his best interpretation of of the dirt track around the corner and just collected the number 10. The 10 went around, and unfortunate for the 10, but I don't believe he's got a ton of damage to that machine.
Just kind of being able to go back. I'm a little bit delayed here watching back through the replay, but yeah, just enough of a hit to the wall that may wrinkle up the right side, but maybe not too severe there. So Schwallenberg, the number 10 car, Dylan out there, that 10 car, we've seen a host of characters in this year. Guys like Nick Gunther, the champ David Schildhouse has been in that 10 car a couple of times. So, you know, now we see Dylan out there in the 10 machine tonight out there. He'll give it a good ride. That thing looks okay. So we'll catch some breath here. We'll get ready to go back. Green flag racing, 32 laps of 175 up on the board. Also something you got to keep in mind here, Todd, 40 laps make up stage number 1. So we're within 10 laps of that buffer. So we're going to have to start monitoring where our championship contenders start to sit here as we get ready to go back to green flag racing, probably about a lap or half a lap away from now. I'm waiting for that call to come down from race control that we're going back green. But want to thank all you guys out there watching Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Got to thank the champ, David Schildhouse, clocking in there. And Todd, he says, the kink is now the front stretch. Call it as we've always known it. 3 and 4 is now 1 and 2, and the old 1 and 2 is now 3 and 4. So we're certainly going to try to get that out of the way, champ. Thanks for those insights out there. You're always more than welcome to come in and show us what's going on out there. As I know you attended the race out there in Arizona this afternoon, so hoping that was a good one. Did not see any of that myself, but I did know the good guy in the M&M's car went to victory lane, so we're perfectly okay with that up here in the Full Velocity TV booth tonight. So we'll get ready to go back to racing there. I think we're a half a lap away as the call has come down. Kevin McAdams, Brandon Hawken, Brian Mercurio, Corey Carpenter, Brandon Lawson going to be your current top 5, followed by Joey Bailey, Jordan Buster, Taylor Morgans is up to 8th, Andrew Swartz 9th, and Arnold Columbia make up your current top 10. Guys like Justin Malello are 11th, Kyle Riley is 13th, Cosman is currently running 17th, Tyler Head is 18th, so that kind of gives you a glimpse of where all these guys in the championship scenario may be running 4 of the 8 in the top 10. We're back to green flag racing.
Yeah, green flag back in the air, and the 26 up through the gearbox rather quickly. Once again, McAdams to the lead here. 25 right now of Brandon Hawken running in that second spot. So McAdams led 31 laps so far here this evening, Phil, out of 34 laps. The rest of them have been changes under yellow flag conditions. The 25 of Hawken just lurking right there in that second spot. Meanwhile, nice battle going on for third. The 44 of Mercurio down to the bottom side, trying to take that and trying to wrestle it away from the 30 of Corey Carpenter. Not able to do so here as we're coming through that little kink. As here comes Carpenter into third. Mercurio gets out of shape just a little bit. And Taylor Morgan's into the top 6. Where'd he come from, Phil? He was deep in the field here at the beginning of the night.
Well, he started last, Todd. Taylor Morgan started 27th. Our defending series champion now up into the top 6, as you said. He is starting to crawl his way ever so forward. That number always going to loom large. He's down to the inside of the 44 of Brian Mercurio. Brian's another one of those guys there, Todd. Think back to a couple of weeks ago, I believe it was at Kansas, where he was involved in a wreck. I think Brian Mercurio was on a short list of guys who are going to be racing for the Final Four. Unfortunately, he didn't make it all the way into this segment, so we keep an eye on guys like Taylor Morgans, who I think just made one of the best saves, Todd, you will ever see off of turn number 2. That car was all such out of shape, and Taylor somehow walked that thing up the hill and caught it. Great hands driving by the 36.
Yeah, definitely able to catch that a little bit on the live stream here with 36 Taylor Morgan's great hands here this evening. Now he's going 3 wide back there. Man, that can't be good there. Morgan's up on the top shelf of the speedway. He fit himself in the middle there, and he was in between the 53 and sideways. Kyle Riley saves it. Here comes Justin Malello in the 53 machine. He is now in the middle of the sandwich right now, and man, that's not where I would want to be right now. I cannot feel that's very comfortable for 53 to Justin Malello. Malello right now, oh man, he's fighting tooth and nail here for his championship hopes, and Michael Frisch there as a door bang just a little bit down the back straightaway, excuse me, as I'm going to get this confused, like I said. The 53 of Malello right now down on the bottom. The 43 of Riley up top. Here comes Michael Frisch in the 01 machine.
Yeah, and you got to think guys like Riley and Malello, Todd, those are guys currently on the outside looking into the championship. If they run at the back part of the top 10, currently running 8th and 9th, so that extra point they may pick up, that may be the difference here when this night ends. I think that's why you're seeing these guys driving as hard as they are, as I believe we're going to get stage white next time around.
Yeah, definitely going to be stage white next time around. Just waiting to see what's going to happen. We'll go back up front as these guys are fighting tooth and nail for that position. We're going to try to see if we can get back here and see if we can see what's going on up front. And there's a lot of good drivers, a lot of good battling going on. Just look at this. You can see the gaggle of cars throughout the field here, as it looks like they're going to be able to come down the back straightaway here into turn number 3. It looks like Kevin McAdams going to take home stage victory number 1 from that number 26 machine. It's going to be Brandon Hawken, Corey Carpenter, Joey Bailey, Brian Mercurio, Taylor Morgans, Brandon Lawson, Kyle Riley, and Tom Salvain, Michael Frisch round out your top 10, Phil.
Yeah, and what looms large there is a lap around ago. We saw the 53, and Malello was in the top 10. Justin finished up in the 11th spot there in stage number 1, and now he's sideways. He's around down the back straightaway, the 53 in a loop, and we're definitely going to have caution on the speedway as this one has galloped up multiple race cars. So right past the end of stage number 1, we were just highlighting the 53, and Malello was racing hard for those stage points, and unfortunately did not get one there as he's hoping to, make a run to the championship. But now the 53 around in a cloud of smoke and took a couple of shots there. So definitely under the caution flag for the third time now tonight, just past the end of stage number 1. Now working lap number 42 up on the board of 175. And this one's got Malello. This one's got the 39 of Arnold Columbia. I think this one's galloped up a couple of more race cars. Believe the 44, not sure, got a piece of this one, or the 24. I think Cosman's number 24 may have got a piece of this as well. So this one, Todd, may have galloped up a couple of championship contenders. It definitely got the 53 of Malello.
That it definitely did, Phil. We're going to ride right with Justin Malello here in the TV camera, and we're going to go slow-mo. Malello makes a mistake here. Hits the outside wall, and I did that quite a bit last night. Columbia gets into the back of the 53 and around. Goes Justin Malello. Jordan Buster involved. 24 Cosman involved. Wetz is involved. There's a parking lot over here at Phoenix, and those guys able to get back going. But a lot of carnage to the corner here, and a lot of smoke as it settles. 53 of Justin Malello's got to be rather dejected here, as he was having a good run there right around the top 10. And now heavily damaged 53 machine as he got hit a couple times while he was spinning around.
No, he sure did. And, I'm not sure if it just got away from him or whatever happened there. But, yeah, that was a parking lot there through the kink, or what is now, I believe, called the front straightaway. So, or at the back straightaway. I'm not even sure where the heck we are. We're in the back stretch. Oh, that is the front stretch headed toward. I don't know, Todd. I give up trying to figure out what turn we are in. It's one of those turns out there. I know there's 4 of them. Not good for the 53 for sure.
No, definitely not good for the 53 of Justin Malello, the 26 of Kevin McAdams. All these guys down on pit road. As now we're watching Malello come here and rolling into his pit stall. As watching most of these guys come off of pit road. Winning the race off of pit road is going to be none other than Kevin McAdams. Brandon Hawkins. Looks like Joey Bailey going to beat, Brian Mercurio going to beat him off the pit road for that third spot. So it's going to be rather interesting to see how this next green flag is going to go. Remember, stage number 2 ends on lap, I believe, 80 there, Phil. Then we got 95 laps left for the for the victory here. So be rather interesting. As now McAdams coming down on pit road. I believe he's going to take a look at that replay. He's one of the admins, so we're going to see what's happening to McAdams as he's going to be down on pit road, like I said. Probably going to take a see what happened, to see who is at fault here for that last wreck. So we'll have a little bit longer here on this yellow flag.
Yeah, we certainly will. So that'll give us here a brief minute to kind of catch our breath and let everybody know what's going on out there. Great to see you all tuning in tonight here live on YouTube, on Facebook Live, on Twitch TV. Phil LaCasse here and Todd Stanton for Full Velocity TV. Hope you guys are enjoying the show just as much as we are bringing it to you here tonight. And if you would like to get your league live on Full Velocity TV, and why wouldn't you not? You want to be part of the big time. Get a hold of us here. If you're watching on Facebook Live, well, you're in the right place. Hit us up on our Facebook page, Full Velocity TV. Send us a direct message there. Or if you're kind of old school thinking, you're kind of living back in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s, drop us an old-fashioned email. Anybody email anymore? Well, you can get a hold of us, fullvelocitytv@gmail.com. Contact us now. Be a part of the great racing going on here. We've got dates already scheduled out, Todd, past the first of the year. We have a lot of great stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. I know a couple of things we can't announce yet, but we got great events coming up in iRacing, like the Gobbler 100. We're going to have championship night from FTF here in 2 weeks at the Homestead Miami Speedway, and a list of other stuff. Of course, the Dirt Warrior Racing Wednesday night street fights, the VLR D1RT Jackpot Modified Series on Tuesdays, the DirtSeries.com Pro versus Super every Thursday night, and how about the Hart Motorsports guys we've seen on Saturday night? Street Stock iRacing division, a small league hoping to grow. Those guys have put on some of the best racing out there. Any of those novice iRacers out there looking for a great Street Stock league, check out the guys at Hart Motorsports.
Well, don't even have to be novice, Phil. I'm going to say a lot of them street stock drivers, Even like Howard Weaver came to the Tone last night and ended up picking up a victory over there at Hart Motorsports. Let's see some of the other guys come out there. I know some of them have been tuning in here to Facebook Live. And remember to share the link over there on Facebook Live, and we'll see what happens. We'd like to see everybody get tuned. This is where we started here on Full Velocity TV. NASCAR 2003. As everybody keeps asking here in the Facebook Live chat, fellas, we do have a lot of iRacers that do indeed follow. This is the game that came before iRacing and NASCAR 2003 out here, and they're still doing it loud and proud here at FTF and doing a fantastic job of it. These guys have anywhere between, I'm going to say, 24 to 40 guys, even knockout qualifying here at Daytona and Talladega. So a lot of these guys still racing pretty strong here in NASCAR 2003. It's still really strong. It don't have the servers like it used to, though, Phil. It don't have, like, the lobbies and different stuff. But I hear some of that's coming back, too, eventually.
Oh, absolutely right. You got the RLM Arena. I know the SMS lobby was around for a long time, but that is, recently it went down. But word is that Dave Stanley is going to bring that back as well. So we're going to have two great options out there. There's a lot of great racing leagues out there. Go on Google one day. Do a search for NR 2003 leagues. There's still a lot in operation. I bet there's good still 60 to 75 leagues out there. So find one that you'd like to support. Follow them all. There are a bunch of great leagues out there. This old game's still going alive and well, and we're proud to present that here. Celebrating the past and the present of NR 2003 right here live on Full Velocity TV. We're working our way down what is the old front straightaway, so I'm going to call this the back straightaway. We're getting ready for a restart now, Todd, as we're going to have Kevin McAdams and Brandon Hawken, as they have done all night. They're going to lead the field back to green.
They're getting ready. These guys are restacked and repacked, waiting for that Monster Energy Ultraviolet restart zone. Green flag is in the air, and Mercurio spins the tires a little bit there on the start. The 79 Joey Bailey's going to capitalize on that, put himself back up into position 3. Now he's going to dive down to the bottom immediately. 2 for move here, trying to get around Brandon Hawken for that second spot.
Yeah, he almost made it work. He's going to have to fall back in the line there. Down the back stretch now is Joey Bailey now up to third in that 79. Hawken going to maintain that second spot as they hit turn number 1. You'll see them pass over the start-finish line off the exit of now turn 2 and back, through the kink of, am I wrong again? That's the front straightaway now, as I believe. So still trying to get this worked out. I know I've had the tutorial out there all night long and got the road map, got the notes written down, and I still can't get this thing right. But the old front stretch, we're heading down toward what was old turn 1. Maybe this is the old down turn 3, Todd. Do you have any idea where we're at this point?
I think this is actually where the start-finish line is. We're on the front straightaway right now, Phil, coming down through that's what we call the kink here. It's front straightaway. Now we're down into turns 1 and 2, as we're going to go down the back straightaway here off of turn number 2. So this will be the back straightaway, and then we're going to go back down here into turn 3, and that'll be turn 3 as Kevin McAdams coming down here into turn number 3, and then off of turn number 4 to that start-finish line there. That's uniquely placed here at the Phoenix Speedway, and just watching these guys go around is still not accustomed to the name, Phil, but I can get the layout down now. Well,
I'm glad you could do that. It is the ISM Raceway out here in Phoenix, Arizona. I believe it's right here in Phoenix. Mr. Sheldhouse, we'll ask you out there. You're watching on YouTube live here tonight. Believe we're right dead in the middle of Phoenix, Arizona. Let him clear that up for us. But what we do know, Kevin McAdams out there with the race lead. Brandon Hawken currently running second. Or that's Joey Bailey now up to second. The battle is for third as Hawken has fallen in position. He may surrender another one. Here comes Brian Mercurio's 44. He's down to the inside of Hawken. They race side by side off of what I believe is now turn 2.
Yeah, Mercurio trying to work over the 25 machine. Not going to be able to do so. Diving down here into turn number 3. Mercurio now settles back into that 4th spot. Pete number 4, the 36 of Taylor Morgan's, is in position number 5 in that fast break machine. Trying to make something happen is Morgan right now able to venture into Homestead. He is automatically locked in virtue of the start of this race here. The number 36 machine, he's not going to fall out of the top 4 here. He would like a great spot there to start here. So the 36 of Taylor Morgan's just riding around here, getting the best finish that he can. And like I said, I'd like to talk, Phil, about momentum, as winning this race will give you a lot of momentum coming into Homestead, I do believe. And that's kind of what you want to do. You may be locked in, but the more momentum that you have, the better off you're going to be, I do believe.
No, I think you're absolutely right. You know who had a whole lot of momentum coming in to this evening? And Think of the last 2 weeks, we saw the number 34 of Isaac Ann go to victory lane. I'm kind of shocked that he didn't make the trip west to come out here tonight and race for a three-peat, because it's one thing, Todd, to race your way into the playoffs, or be a guy like Isaac who has won multiple times this season, who could have swept this entire round of where we get down to that final 8 and make it 4. I'm kind of surprised the 34 is not here tonight, so we'll shout out to Isaac. But now a good race going on for that 4th spot into turn 3. Taylor Morgan's to the low side of Brian Mercurio.
And Morgan's gets a little bit loose there, and that 36 machine is going to allow Brian Mercurio to gather that 4th spot back in. Joey Bailey, meanwhile, up in 2nd. Oh, Taylor Morgan, almost contact made between himself and Michael Frisch. Frisch right now up to the top shelf of the speedway. Able to capitalize on Morgan's mistake there as he got a wee bit loose down on the bottom side. The number 36 machine put Michael Frisch now up to the 5th position in that 0-1 machine.
What I'm staggered by, Todd, watching these guys charge this racetrack tonight, this new layout we have on display, what I'm really noticing, and through the years at Phoenix, I mean, it's the same old racetrack, a little bit of a unique outline, maybe a little bit wider, maybe a little tad bit more banking here through what is now the kink or whatever, but I don't remember these cars almost feeling like when you're up on the outside coming to a dead stop. I've always known Phoenix to kind of give you that tight sensation, but I don't remember ever having to go through the middle of 3 and 4. And, look at the way these guys are all down on the brakes. They let it roll real slow. I mean, you think you're entering the corner at well over 140 mile an hour. You're creeping down to about 85, 90. I mean, that almost feels like at that top speed. I don't ever remember going down that slow, but I've never been good at a racetrack like this.
Yeah, me either, Phil. This is not one of my favorite tracks here on the circuit, and it's one of those tracks that I struggle at. And last night I even got to some shape or form a track almost like this, Phil, and I just struggled. I could not get through the corner, could not get off the corner. And maybe that's the dirt racing in me. As now yellow flag going to fly once again here, Phil, to bring us under. I believe this is our 3rd yellow flag of the evening, maybe 4th.
This is the 4th yellow flag of the night now, working lap number 59. Looks like this one may have got the 193 of Tyler Mallon, I believe, may have got a piece of this one, maybe the cause for this one. We don't make the calls out here on Full Velocity TV. We're going to we'll let the admins do that, and I think one day we'll have a feature if one gets close enough that we'll let our guys out there watching Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Eventually, I think we're going to have a feature called You Make the Call. I know Todd has done it a couple of times, but I think we're eventually going to make that an official call here on Full Velocity TV. So under the caution flag for the 4th time tonight, a spin and maybe a little bit of contact, Todd, for the 193 of Tyler Mallon. Haven't seen Tyler out here in Full Velocity TV before. Have not seen him at FTF, so show us what happened to the 193.
Tyler Mallon here is the number 193. It's 93 here on the screen. Makes contact with the 47 of Sonny Tallman, putting him around. Tallman into the outside wall. Rather heavy damage to the back end of his car, but unfortunately the 193 got into the 47.
Got 193 into the back of the 47 of Sonny Tallman. Puts Sonny around and under the caution flag for the 4th time tonight. Now working lap number 60, and just kind of update where our current championship contenders are running here is I think the call come down from Todd Zend somebody had to answer the phone, so I'm going to let Todd put that thing on TV1, and we'll talk here for a minute as well. Let pit stops kind of recycle. And we're on lap number 60, so we're still shy of the halfway, still 20 laps shy of stage number 2, and the way it looks like they're going to exit pit road will be the 26 car of Kevin McAdams with the lead over the number 25 of Brandon Hawk, and unofficially I'm going to call the 53 of Justin Malello. I'm going to put a period on that here for a minute. We're going to let timing and scoring kind of reset as it's kind of all jumbled up here through the field, so as that all starts to sort itself out, we'll go down and give you a quick full field rundown here before we get back to green flag racing. I did see the 00 of Zachary Stoltz did lead a lap. I know he's onto pit road now, so we can call the 26 of McAdams the leader. The 79 of Joey Bailey currently 2nd. The 25 of Brandon Hawk in 3rd. Brian Mercurio is 4th. Michael Frisch in the 01, he now runs 5th. 6 to 10, we find Taylor Morgans, Kyle Riley, Dylan Smith, Corey Carpenter, and Brandon Lawson is 10th. Dylan Schwallenberg, he is 11th. Arnold Columbia 12th. Tom Sylvain 13th. Zach Buchanan is 14th. Jordan Buster currently runs in the 15th position. 16th, we find Cosman. Tyler Head running for a championship contention here tonight. Badly needing to win this to advance to Homestead. He is currently 17th. Chris Wetz is 18th. Andrew Swartz 19th. And Ryan Araki rounds out your top 20. 21st is Tyler Mallon, followed by Justin Malello. He's mired all the way back in 22nd. Sonny Tallman is 23rd. John Greed 24th, and Zachary Stoltz, he runs 25th. Jake Pullman out there, the 78 car, he currently runs 26th. Mike Fallon's 55. He started on the grid tonight. He is behind the wall. His night is done. So 27 cars started, 26 on the racetrack. We are now back to green flag racing. Kevin McAdams and Joey Bailey, they're going to be side by side off the exit of 2. So they work down the backstretch into turn number 3. Bailey to the outside of McAdams. This has been the best challenge McAdams has had all night. Joey Bailey, that Valvoline number 79. We've seen Nick Baker in most of the season. Joey Bailey's had a couple of starts, but now Joey off of turn number 2 is going to put his way up into the lead. Down the backstretch, down to 79 up front. McAdams to second. Brian Mercurio in the 44. He has worked his way now up into the top 3, running third. Brandon Hawken. I don't think we've seen Brandon outside the top 3 all night. Currently running fourth. And Michael Frisch running at your top 5. So a new race leader has emerged. 64 laps of 175 in. Phil Lacasse and Todd Stanton. Todd, you back with us? Joey Bailey, our first new leader of the night. All right, so Todd sounds like still not quite ready on his end down there. I know he had some business to attend to up there. So we got this thing on the camera. We're following along out there as you guys are with the race leader in the 79. Battle for the second spot now. Mercurio to the inside of Kevin McAdams. McAdams has not really been under siege yet all evening long, but now Mercurio going to bring the 44 down off the turn as they hit now into turn number 3, and I'm believing by the sounds of these cars, we may have caution on the racetrack. Caution is out on the speedway. The 43 of Kyle Riley looks like may have been involved in this one, so this may have some championship implications here as the 43 is around on the racetrack, and we'll see if we can't go back and do this kind of old, radio style and go back and see if we can't recap what happened. I know Todd will be down there trying to give us the replay as fast as he can do. So we were coming through, looks like, off of what we can call, believe now, turn number 4. Kyle got down on the apron, got loose, got into the back of the 9 of Brandon Lawson. Kyle kept it straight. Lawson was pointed in the wrong direction off of turn number 2. So 2 championship contenders got a piece of this one, so we'll have to wait and see how this one is going to shape out, but we'll see if we can't get Todd to go back here and show us a full Velocity TV replay. But do want to thank all you guys out there watching us. YouTube is jumping tonight, as it always is at FTF. Also going to thank you guys out there. I know a lot of our iRacing crowd tunes in through Facebook Live. We want to welcome all you guys to the show. No Twitch TV is out there. I'm trying to do the best I can to monitor all 3. So if you're out there watching on any of our 3 platforms, welcome to tonight's show, the Shadow Hart 175, taking place at the newly named ISM Raceway out here in Avondale, Arizona, about 20 miles northwest of downtown Phoenix area. I got to thank Mr. Schildhouse there for all the brilliant insights he gives us here every night. He is out there in the chat box, and, great to see him out there. Hope the race out there this afternoon was good, David. I know you were out there for that. Sure, you were hot, you were sweaty, having a long day out there. So pit road is now open, just kind of waiting for the call to come down here as we've lost Todd's communication on my end right now. We did hear the phone ring in the background. Todd had to kind of go run to that. So I do see the caution overlay up on the screen. So I do think we may be just about ready to give you a full Velocity TV replay. So, Todd, believe you're ready. Show us what happened here. Contact the 43 definitely getting loose, and he collects the 9 car of Lawson.
Yeah, definitely the 43 car of Kyle Riley goes around here, collects the number 9 of Brandon Lawson. We're going to show you here really quickly, as fast as we can here on Full Velocity TV. Hits the apron and just barely clips. The number 9 is the 43 of Riley. Was trying to keep it off of him, and nobody else makes contact there with Brandon Lawson, but Lawson has some damage here. Does cause some more hiccups between the 193 and the 47 of Sonny Tallman there directly behind him, but Brandon Lawson has a little bit of damage to that number 9 machine. I apologize, phone calls there from work there, Phil, and have to take those.
Yeah, that kind of pays all the bills for you, so you do have to kind of tend to that when it kind of calls. We got this thing taken care of here live on Full Velocity TV, now working. I believe this is the 5th caution flag of the night here on lap number 68. So we're approaching here a dozen laps away from the completion of stage number 2, the last time for these guys to go out there and race for these coveted stage points. So you got to think guys like, like Justin Malello, who we saw in wreck earlier on, like a Brandon Lawson, who at this contact, Todd, may have to come from the back of the field. Kyle Rowley going to have to start back there for bringing out the caution flag. I mean, those guys out there racing for those last precious points that are outside the top 4, they're going to have to do it from the back, and they're only going to have about 10 laps to do it. All right, sounds like we're getting Todd back all together down there, as it sounds like things all just going a wallop here in the Stanton household tonight. Well, we'll take this show the best we can do it till Todd gets back with us, so I think I got enough breath for the two of us here for a little bit. So as we're getting ready for the restart, it's going to be a new front row we haven't seen most of the night. Joey Bailey going to take the field back to green with Brandon Hawken. The second row, we find Cosman and Justin Malello. Row number 3, I believe we're going to find Kevin McAdams, and that might be Chris Wetz's green flag going back in the air. They stop back on the gas pedal, heading down toward turn number 1, and it's going to be the 79 of Joey Bailey with the lead, the 25 of Brandon Hawken. Cosman now up to third, as I believe caution flag immediately going to come back to the racetrack, as there was definitely squealing tires there off of turn number 2, and I'm not sure, but I have a feeling, I think I may have known where this one kind of came from, is I think this one may have been the 53 car of Malello once again, and if so, I mean, that's just going to be the continuation of just a miserable night for Justin's number 53, needing a good finish, maybe a win to advance on the Homestead next week, and it looks like there I see F's going out, and contact, Todd, with the 53 of Malello, and this one caught up multiple cars down through the kink, the front stretch. Cars all sort of tore up, a traffic jam, one car even on its side. So you got a lot of good things to look at here with another Full Velocity TV replay, but the miserable night for Justin Malello continues on, and looks like he just got put around in the wrong direction again, and probably feels like a pinball at this point.
Yes, indeed, and we're already showing it here, Phil, live on the screen, and man, he comes off the wall. The 53 is, it looks like he didn't get up through the gearbox like he wanted to, and everybody's going down below him, and maybe he has a broken gear and makes contact with Mercurio. Around goes the 71, the 37 to Ryan Naraki. More pounding up into the wall here. The 71 of Chris Wetz up on his side, drives it on the side. I thought he was going to come back over, and turtle there for the 71 of Wetz, but 53 is some more contact. Wetz was involved, the 37 of Ryan Naraki. There's quite a few cars that were involved in that one, Phil, and Malello's night keeps getting worse.
Yeah, and I'm looking just back at the replay, and there were probably about 12 cars there, maybe 13, that you could maybe put in about 4 or 5 spaces out in the racetrack. There was only so much room for these to go, and you don't think you would see the big one at a place like a Phoenix, this ISM Raceway, but that one definitely caught a couple of guys off key there, as said Chris Wetz up on his side. Malello's car took a pounding on the 37 on the Rocky down to the apron, the 24 getting a piece. I mean, multiple other cars involved, and I believe that's caution flag number 6 now working lap 72. Maybe have some bent race cars, Todd, but you got to think at this point, we may have some bent up feelings as well.
Yeah, definitely got a lot of bent up cars, bent up feelings probably out there on the speedway. It's unfortunate there. That's not what they wanted to do here. So we're coming down the back straightaways, man. It gets so confusing. It used to be the front straightaway, but the back straightaway here, the 25 of Brandon Hawken, the 79 of Joey Bailey, Cosman, Kevin McAdams, Zach Buchanan, Michael Frisch, Taylor Morgans, Dylan Smith, Dylan Swallenberger, and Arnold Columbia there round out your top 10. So these guys getting locked and loaded. I believe they're going to go back to green flag racing here at the Monster Energy Ultraviolet restart zone. Green flag is in the air, and Hawken just burnt his tires up there, spun his tires, and Joey Bailey out to the lead in the 79 machine.
Yep, certainly is, and I think that at the same time at 25 spun his tires, I think Cosman's number 24 car may have done the same thing as Kevin McAdams got a really good restart in the outside lane. McAdams restarted fourth. He's now up to the second spot in a turn number 1, and here comes Michael Frisch working now over the outside. Him and Cosman, they are side by side for fourth. Here comes Dylan Smith. He needs a hug. He's got the hugs car rolling up the right direction.
Yeah, definitely the hug. I tell you what, Phil, I used to love those as a kid, and actually I tried one just not too long ago, and they still are just as good as I had them when they were a kid there. I stole some of my kids' hugs. So the number 1 machine making some good moves there. Dylan Smith now up to number 5 as he's getting around the number 24. Meanwhile, battle for the lead starting to heat up between the 26 of Kevin McAdams in the 79 machine of Joey Bailey. Bailey has it. McAdams wants it. He's been in the lead quite a bit. He's being a hogger of sorts there in the 26 machine. He's led 57 laps here tonight. Phil, 12 for Joey Bailey now in that number 79 machine. So McAdams trying to take over the lead once again.
Yeah, and Kevin, as you said, I think with the green flag may have clinched his way into next week at Homestead just by virtue of the way these guys start on the racetrack, but he's not content there. He picked up the win in stage 1. I think he's going to want to win in stage number 2 as they got 5 more trips to make around this very flat 1-mile racetrack out here in Phoenix, Arizona. McAdams now up to the lead. Caution flag is on the speedway, and they are going to race back. This is going to put the end to stage number 2 as we are in the buffer zone, so they're going to race all the way back around to the start-finish line, and this one is going to be in the hands of Kevin McAdams here as he hits turn number 1. Believe that scored the caution flag, so Arnold Columbia and Dylan Schwallenberg look to be involved in this one here, but that is going to put the period to stage number 2. Give the win to Kevin McAdams, Joey Bailey second, Michael Frisch third, Dylan Smith fourth, Brandon Hawken fifth. Taylor Morgans picks up 6. Cosman getting some championship points there. He finishes up 7th. Brandon Lawson 8th. Tom Sylvain 9th. And Zach Buchanan puts the 19 car out in the top 10 here. So that was racing back to complete stage number 2, which unfortunately, Todd, ends under yellow for contact with the 39 and the 10 car.
Sorry for a little bit of delayed here. Was trying to get the top 10 up there for the stage for the guys, and got to the video as fast as I could here on Full Velocity TV. You're watching Arnold Columbia here, and look at him get all sort of out of shape here as he's saving it here. The 39 makes more contact there with the 36 of Taylor Morgans. Comes back down the track, hits the wall some more, tries to keep it up and down in front of the 10 machine. And woo! What a spinning around like a top. That's a new meaning to spinning around like a top for Arnold Columbia. Man, he went for a wild ride. He's got to be dizzy. He went around and around and around quite a few times there after the 10 made contact there, and that's an amazing feat there for the 39 machine to be able to keep going there as contact from that number 10. Relegates him to the rear here after trying to save his car. He just could not hold on to it there, Phil. Arnold Columbia in the 39.
I just kind of got back to see that thing spinning around and probably a little bit dizzy for sure. Race car a little bit tore up. The 10 car picking up some more damage there, Swallenberg. So under the caution flag, believe this is the 7th one of the night here live on Full Velocity TV. Now through the completion of stage number 2. So these last 95 laps are going to make up the completion of the race. We are done stage racing. We are done playing up the playoff points. It is all about time to race to elimination here and let the cards fall where they may and let those stage points play off here later. Right now, up front, looks like it's going to be, is that the 36 car of Taylor Morgans, Todd? I believe Taylor Morgans may have won the race off of pit road there over Kevin McAdams. I believe Brandon Hawken unofficially is going to be 3rd. The 2 of Tom Sylvain looks like he is 4th, and I believe Brandon Lawson may unofficially round out our top 5. No, I did miss Cosman in there. I did miss Michael Frisch. So I'm seeing cars jockeying for position, trying to figure out who is where, and it completely screws me up trying to give out this lineup.
Definitely, Phil, is the number 36 of Taylor Morgan did indeed lock it down here and beat the 26 of McAdams off of pit road. So Morgan's going to lead him down to get the green flag. 26, Kevin McAdams. Second, third, Joey Bailey, Michael Frisch, Dylan Smith, Brandon Hawken, Cosman, Tom Sylvain, Brandon Lawson, and Zach Buchanan. That is your top 10. Phil is they're running right now down the back straightaway. We're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing once again. And now we got a long, long road to hoe here for the victory here, the final victory here to set the final 4 here at FTF. And I know this has been building all week, Phil. Just waiting for this. This is the final stage. We say the final stage. This is going to go all the way to the end of the race as these guys through the ultraviolet. It looks like they're going to take one more lap here to get back into condition and get the cars that need to be where they need to be. And we'll see what happens here, Phil. But I tell you, these guys, it's been building all week long, all year long. Who's going to make it to Homestead, clinching the way already? Taylor Morgan's. And like you said, Kevin McAdams already clinching the way here. He was currently second. So now we got 1 and 2. We know who's going to Homestead, 1 and 2. Taylor Morgan's and Kevin McAdams. The rest of the field still up for grabs. It's Cosman right now. And you also got the other machine there. I think it was the 24 and the 30 of Corey Carpenter. Then you got Brandon Lawson just on the other side of the cut line. Then you got also 53 Justin Malello, who's had an atrocious night here. 64 Tyler had to win this race here this evening, and right now relegated back to 13th position. So that's going to be awful difficult for him. And Kyle Riley right there in P7 here in the chase, but he's right there able to knock on the door. So he's got to pay attention to the other chasers here to figure out how he's going to get in.
Yeah, absolutely right. As we're ready for a restart, green flag going to go back in the air. Taylor Morgan's using the outside lane here on the restart. Going to take the field to green. Kevin McAdams there second. Good race there immediately going on for the third spot between Joey Bailey, 79, Michael Frisch, and McAdams getting a little bit high there off of turn number 4 that time. McAdams up into the outside wall, and he almost lost. He held on to those spots. What it did, it checked the field. It held up to 79 of Bailey. Michael Frisch now up to third. Bailey back to fourth. Here comes Brandon Hawken. They're going to be side by side as they head toward turn 1.
And now a battle for the lead once again. The 26 of McAdams down on the bottom side. He wants it back here from Taylor Morgan. He drifts up the track, almost door checking each other off the corner here. Down the back straightaway, still Taylor Morgan's with the lead. The 26 of McAdams now dives back down to the bottom here at turn number 3. Side by side here off of turn number 4 through that restart zone at the start-finish line here. I believe it's going to be just barely going to be the 36 of Morgan's at the line by .100 over Kevin McAdams. Now McAdams going to slide up in front of the 36 of Taylor Morgan's. Morgan's going to be able to fight back down to the bottom. High-low switch. We see that in dirt, but now we're seeing it on asphalt here at Phoenix.
Yeah, we certainly are. That's a great racing going on for the lead now. Morgan's to the inside of Kevin McAdams. Look at Michael Frisch in the 01, Todd. Just trying to pick a lane. Who is going to mess up? Who is going to slide up the hill? Where's the opening going to be? The 01 looks to be really strong. There's now a little bit of tire smoke there. I don't know if they made contact there, but smoke off the 36 car. Frisch is there. Here comes that 25 of Brandon Hawken in the fray. Joey Bailey is there. We have a good 5-6 car race all up there racing for the lead into turn number 1.
Yeah, Morgan's a little bit sideways there, gets a little bit out of shape. Michael Frisch going to be able to get around him. Now Brandon Hawken door checks the 36 of Taylor Morgan's. Morgan's right now had to hang on to it. Nope, he's around in front of the whole field. Contact made. Man, lots of cars around here at Phoenixville, and Morgan's after a door check. I believe the 25 got into the side of the 36 machine. We're going to leave it up to the fans to make the call. We're going to leave it up to the admins to make the call. I'm going to go down here and see what actually happened. But just out of the corner of my eye, I seen the 25 and 36 get together.
There was definitely contact there, but we're going to as you said, I want to go back and take a view of this again, and I'll do it here just live here on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch TV just at the same time. You guys are all going to do it. So what I can tell you, it definitely got the 36 of Morgan's, the 9 car of Lawson, the 25 car of Brandon Hawken. Kyle Riley got a piece. Tom Sylvain got a piece. A lot of drivers kind of got caught up in this one. So I think you caught a glimpse of it off screen there, Todd, but I think you're going to give us a really good picture here and let these guys out there, you make the call. Was this one from a 25 contact of a 36, or would the 36 come off the wall? I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to let you make the call. We'll let YouTube out there make the call.
Definitely going to let him make the call. And we're going to go from helicopter because this shows pretty much what needs to happen here. And we're going to follow Taylor Morgan's and what happened as the 25 comes. I don't know. It's a man, that's close. It's close. Those guys make slight contact there. 36 goes up the wall. Around he goes. And more contact from Tom Salvain. Brandon Lawson. Kyle Riley gets into the back of Lawson. 19 of Zach Buchanan. The 30 of Corey Carpenter. Look at him weave himself through that. And the rest of the drivers there, Phil, I thought it was actually worse than it was. But these guys are able to miss a lot of the spinning cars here. But Salvain involved, and I know Brandon Lawson, his night not going well for him either. This is the second yellow flag that he's been a part of. And, man, contact here for the Chasers. And the 43, Kyle Riley, like you said, just got barely into the back of the number 9 machine, sending him around.
Well, there's not really much you can all do there when it's just a big check up there down the straightaway, and everybody has to, get on the brake pedal, roll the car up, and it kind of becomes a, accordion effect where, one guy doesn't slow down fast enough, gets in the back of the other, and gets in the back of the next guy, and turns the entire field around before you know it. So that's what we're seeing here now, working caution flag number 8, working now lap number 88 of 175. That makes up the Shadow Hart 175 tonight at the ISM Raceway out in Phoenix, Arizona. Hope you guys are out there enjoying the show just as much as we are bringing it to you. It's definitely been a rough one. We've seen a lot of bent-up race cars. We have seen a lot of our championship contenders evolved. Now we see the 36 of Taylor Morgan's. That car behind the wall looks like his night is going to be done. But thankfully for Taylor, he locked his way. It's by virtue of all the points he has secured. He's going to race next week at Homestead. The murky part became what was going to happen 2nd through 4. I believe McAdams locked his way in just by the start here tonight. Bearing just a disaster for him, I think his spot was safe. Then you look at that cut line for 3rd where you find Cosman. That was 16 points up on the cut. Corey Carpenter was only 4 points up on Kyle Riley for that final transfer spot. 6 points back to Brandon Lawson and Justin Malello, both having a struggle of it. And Tyler Heads, number 64, now currently running in the 12th spot, needing to win to advance to Homestead. So there's a lot of championship implications left to play out here. We still got one more half of this race to go. Lap number 90 of 175 on the board. I know you guys out there on YouTube been busy. Facebook Live, a decent crowd. Twitch is doing okay as well. What are you guys out there on YouTube thinking? What are you guys on Facebook thinking? Chime on all in. Who is it going to be here when we talk about going to victory lane in about 85 laps? Let's get some early predictions in.
Yeah, definitely one of those things we want to hear that who's going to be out there. You got to thank the guys out there in Facebook Live, Phil. I've been watching them here, and Earl Clements, big supporter here of Full Velocity TV. Got to thank him. He's one of the guys that helped back us here. Him and his partner in crime there over the dirt-series.com, one of the main sponsors out here. So Earl Clements out there. Saying everything, he's going to go with the number 26 here, Kevin McAdams. Earl Clements, got to thank you for sharing too. I see your share out there on Facebook. If you don't have that share symbol on top of your name, it means you haven't shared our Facebook Live post. And I'd like to see every one of these guys start sharing there. Phil, got to say hi to Robert Barber for tuning in. We have a few other guys out there. Jared Abdil is out there also. A few other guys. Willie Moore out there. Say hello to him, and a few other guys have seen David Day into the Facebook Live. But I know you're monitoring YouTube. I wasn't able to get over there to YouTube. I can watch it on my other device, but I have not connected it here. But I know on my phone I'm watching Facebook Live.
Well, we've got the champ David Schildhouse in the house over here. Andy Margot, Gary Piccolo's out there. Jeffrey McClintock has just recently checked in. Has Brendan Vigent, Brian Wolf. Looks like the Shermanator is out there as well. Nick Baker just chimed in. So great to see all you guys out there tuning in. Share the link out there, guys. I don't care if it's YouTube. I don't care if it's Facebook Live or Twitch TV. Share it out there. Let everybody know that it's going on here in a big way tonight over at FTF Live on Full Velocity TV, where only the greats come out and be a part of the action. If it's iRacing or NR 2003, you can expect Todd and Phil to be there bringing you all the action night in and night out, as we're 91 laps now into the 175 track around the ISM Raceway. We have seen this race, Todd, turned upside down now multiple times with our championship contenders involved in wrecks. McAdams has kind of dominated the night up front. You update guys like Malello, who have been stuck at the back after a wreck. Taylor Morgan's out of the event. Brandon Lawson going to restart back there. Kyle Riley's been involved in a wreck. Tyler Head. Believe Corey Carpenter may have got some damage early on. So there are championship implications out throughout this entire field, and we are going to do our very best to not only keep you all abreast of the championship, but also the great racing action out here as we're getting ready to go back to green.
Yeah, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. These guys are restacking and repacking here. Double file restart here. This is number 19 is Zach Buchanan out there out front in the number 19 machine. It's going to be the 26 of Kevin McAdams. As it looks like here, Phil, I don't know. I think they're rolling around here still, waiting for this yellow flag to clear out. I believe some of the field is not quite ready to go back to green flag racing. So we're going to wait here another lap before we go back to it.
All right, Todd, as I'm trying to get some fluid into me here, I'm going to ask you a question. I know a lot of guys out there have done this before. Have you ever pulled on the pit road after being involved in a wreck and wanted to go back and kind of view the replay and see what happened to your car? That's a question for you, Todd. All right.
Well, Phil, I didn't catch your question because I was a little bit distracted here, but didn't catch your question. Go ahead.
All right, let's try this again. Have you ever been involved in a wreck racing through this old sim over the years and were involved in a wreck to go back and look through your replay?
I haven't. I mean, yeah, I guess I have. I went down on pit road, looked at my replay. Maybe to look to see if I did something wrong, or who it was to get pissed off at.
All right.
Yes, I have.
We're back to green flag racing, but we're going to talk about the oof moment of the night. It's going to belong to Taylor Morgans, who was involved in that last wreck. Todd, he said he hit the escape button, went to look at the replay, accidentally hit that retire button. Thank God for Taylor Morgan's racing for a championship that he'd already secured his spot in, because that could have completely just destroyed his championship hopes. As we immediately go back under the caution flag here for, it looks like something happening around the number 44 of Brian Mercurio. And it looks like a couple of other guys may have got a piece of this as well. So it looks like it may have been a mechanical failure right on the restart for the 44 to put us back under caution. But, yeah, that's the update on the 36 camp. Looks like Taylor just, went to view the replay and unfortunately hit the retire button, and that sucks. I can't imagine if that was somebody out there like, say, a Corey or a Kyle or somebody racing for a championship. I'm sure Taylor has to be breathing a humongous sigh of relief, and maybe if we can't catch him here on Full Velocity TV when we get back to green, we'll talk to Mr. Taylor out there and see what he's thinking. But, Todd, you ready for a replay down there? I think I'm just going to see a mechanical failure happen here with the 44, and I think that may have stacked up the entire field.
Yeah, it looks like something broke there in the gearbox, something rear end. I'm not 100% positive, but you could hear it over revving, and you watch them slow down here, and bam. I mean, the 47 of Sonny Tallman, full speed into the back of the 44 there. Unfortunate chain of events there. The 44 already broken. Now the 47 broken even more. Had really nowhere to go. Sonny Tallman, again, involved in another wreck here on Full Velocity TV.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of watching the in-game chatter, and you hate it for a guy like Sonny Tallman, who's not out there to ruin anybody's night by any means, but you see that car just kind of break in front of you. You come up on him so fast, and you just don't have time to react to it. And by the time you do and you hit the brake pedal, you're usually in way too deep. And, Sonny just destroyed the back of the 44 car. So that just completely blows for those guys out there as well. So it's kind of been a long race now as we're 4 laps shy of the century mark working. I believe this is the 9th yellow flag of the night. And, kind of the beat goes on there, Todd, is it's still McAdams up front. Believe the 19 of Zach Buchanan. Did Zach stay out to lead the last time, or did he bring us back to the restart? I know we were both looking at all the things.
Zach Buchanan was actually your current race leader, who is still your race leader in that number 19 machine. Right now has led 7 laps here in the number 19. So the Best Buy machine able to get the green flag once again. And we're back to green flag racing down here into turn number 1. He's trying to get back down to the bottom. McAdams right now running in that second spot. Third is Michael Frisk. Frisk trying to work over the bottom here to try to get around this 26 machine. These guys are, there's a whole gaggle of cars right now, Phil, and almost 3 wide through the corner.
Yeah, and I think they're up there racing Buchanan's number 19, who may just be a little bit off. I don't know if it's the tire strategy or whatever, but he's definitely got the field a little bit gathered up behind him. McAdams going to swing to the low side down and take the lead. Here comes the 0-1 of Michael Frisch down to the inside. Brandon Hawken kind of stuck in line there as he can't find a lane to move around. Now he'll get clear as Frisch gets around the 19. Here comes Hawken to the inside. Now off the exit of, I believe, turn number 2, we're going to see some more smoke out there. Looks like one more car may have gone up and smoked down the back straightaway, but now put Frisch up to second. The race is for third between Buchanan, who is really fighting good in that Best Buy machine, and Brandon Hawken down low in that drive Dan Hunger, number 25.
Yeah, a little bit of a struggle here for Buchanan now going through the field here is the number 1 slowing up behind him. Kyle Riley way up on the top shelf of the Speedway. And that number 43 machine trying to stay at bay there. He thought he was going to run over maybe the number 19 of Zach Buchanan. Here comes the 1 down to the bottom side. That's Dylan Smith here. And that Hugs machine is trying to capitalize, trying to peek himself into the top 4 in that number 1. Here comes Joey Bailey here after a couple of bad pit stops, now running in that 5th spot.
Yeah, running up at the 5th spot, as you said, and I'm trying to do a little bit of back channel communication here to see if we maybe can't get a hold of the 36 car of Taylor Morgan's to talk to him about this rather unfortunate way his night is ended here. But good race going on, as you said now, between Dylan Smith and the 1, the 79 of Joey Bailey racing really good there for 5th. We have a race going on for the lead. Here comes Frisch to the inside of Kevin McAdams. Can Michael Frisch out of the race lead to the turn 1?
Yeah, Michael Frisch trying to lead his first lap of the evening in that 01 machine. As he gets up in front of the 26, I could call that a slide job, just barely up in front of the 26 of Kevin McAdams. He's indeed going to, I do believe, lead his first lap here of the evening in that 01 machine. And remember that as he gets by the start-finish line, remember that he is part of the Owners' Championship right now in that 01 machine. 21-point lead over the 36 and 36 out of the Savette, so he's going to have even more space, more gap going into Homestead.
Oh, he absolutely is up there. So, yeah, you got to think McAdams is really enjoying this right now. Brendan Hawken running 3rd, Dylan Smith 4th, Joey Bailey 5th, Buchanan back to 6th. The race between the championship contenders is between Kyle Riley and Corey Carpenter, but we'll put a period on that for a second now. It was our 10th caution flag of the night. 10th caution flag has come out, and this one looks like it's around the 193 of Tyler Mallon, the 67 of Andrew Schwartz, and looks like a 2 of Tom Sylvain also may have got a piece of this one as well. So we are now at an even 10, the 10th yellow flag of the night here at the ISM Raceway live on Full Velocity TV, where guys are definitely having some trouble down past the century mark. 103 laps of 175 on the board. I did see guys like Brian Mercurio walking back through the pit area, so I know the 44 was, behind the wall as well, joining Taylor Morgan's and Mike Fallon. But Todd, unfortunately now for the 10th time this evening, we're under caution flag. Is it almost time to page Dr. Green? Show us what happened with the replay.
Yeah, Dr. Green was on vacation, so might have to page him here. We're looking at the 67 of Andrew Schwartz and the 2 of Tom Sylvain. Sylvain does a big no-no here, comes up onto the number 10 machine and gets up on the top side there and just clips his right rear. I mean, I thought he thought he was clear here. The spotter probably was on a little bit of drugs here. Sylvain trying to get around the number 10 machine, not able to do so, gets loose there, checks up the field. And in that return, Andrew Schwartz tries to check up, and around he goes here, involving the 193. And Ryan Naraki, he thought he was going to go by. Not going to happen for the 37 of Ryan Naraki. He makes contact with the wall, and more contact from Andrew Schwartz, and tough break for those guys. Justin Malello locked it up there up front, Phil, in the 53 machine. He was able to stay out of this one.
Might be the first one he may have stayed out of all night long. I'm sure if it's not, probably show us how he's feeling out there in that number 53 car. So, yeah, absolutely right. 10th caution flag of the night. And that one there, Todd, it kind of almost resembles your favorite song, the Slinky song.
Indeed, Phil, I have to agree with that. It was a slinky effect, an accordion effect for that matter, and unfortunately, when he got off the gas, Andrew Schwartz, he just went around, and sometimes, like it was last night when I raced this track, Phil, it's a different version, different track, but I got off the gas and I went around too, so I understand where these guys are fighting that loose condition and trying to stay off, and you're going to jerk that steering wheel just a little bit more when you see somebody completely sideways right in front of you, and unfortunately, Schwartz couldn't hold on to it, and made some more contact with some other guys throughout the field.
And I just got confirmation there, Todd. There are guys out there still texting and driving around this racetrack at 140 mile an hour. Justin Malello tunes into my other ear and says, "Ha, I heard that, Phil." And sorry about that, bud. Just having a little bit of fun up there. I'm sure your night is about as frustrating as one could possibly be out there. But the 53 Todd rebounded. It looks like back up into a top 10 here as we're getting ready to go for another restart. So maybe a night that just went away from the 53 in a hurry. Maybe could he possibly rebound and score enough points and can he score enough points to make it from here, or is it going to take an issue for the 30 and the 9 car, who I believe are going to have to start at the back of the field this time?
Yeah, it's going to be rather interesting to see what's going to happen for those guys, Phil. And like you said, Malello, I didn't catch what you said, but unfortunately, Justin, probably rather frustrated. I would be frustrated too, trying to make himself into the chase and trying to make himself into that Final Four, and that's going to be difficult as the 26 now coming back up through after looking at that replay. Kevin McAdams doing a great job here, admitting along with Brandon Lawson. You know, the 51 of Justin or 53 of Justin Malello, excuse me. Those guys go down pit road quite a bit. Can't forget Corey Carpenter. He's another guy behind the scenes here. Adam Kodal making this track here this evening, a beautiful track here, and it's a great replica here tonight. I'm telling you, Phil, it's bar none. FTF has had some great racing all season. Last season that when we covered them, fantastic finishes, and the chase is going to end here at Homestead here, not next week, rescheduled to the following week. So Homestead will finish after the original Homestead race, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely right. It was originally scheduled to be on next week, but you know, Justin and Corey and a couple other guys had a chance to travel to the Homestead Miami Speedway and witness NASCAR Championship night, Ford Championship weekend in person. And that's a cool experience I've never had. I'm sure that's going to be a lot of cool stuff going on there to even witness history. So these guys have asked us, hey, you know, with most of the staff being away, the race going on TV, and probably going to take into the night hours, can we maybe postpone till our championship night to next or the following week on the 25th? And we certainly said we could almost accomplish that. We're going to give a shout out to our friends Steve Rubino, all the guys at Hobo Racing. They were currently locked into that date, but those guys were gracious enough to move their date by a little bit, accommodate the FTF request to move championship night back to the 25th, and we're going to be back here live in 2 weeks at Homestead, the Final Four. We will crown a champion here in 2 weeks live on Full Velocity TV. The problem is we got to figure out which 4 drivers they're going to be. We already know we're going to get Taylor Morgans at Homestead. I think it's pretty safe to say we're going to get Kevin McAdams at Homestead. So the question is now, who else is it going to be? Is it going to be Cosman, who's currently 3rd of the standings? Cosman looks like he's going to restart 10th. Corey Carpenter, 4th of the standings. He's going to restart 9th as we're back to Green Flag Racing here at Phoenix.
And Green Flag Racing once again enlarging the charge once again. The 26 machine of Kevin McAdams back out to the lead. The 01 of Michael Frisk right there in the second spot. 3rd right now is the 79 of Joey Bailey. Not for long, as now he peeks down to the inside of Michael Frisk, coming down here into turn number 3, I do believe there, Phil. The number 79 down on the bottom. The 01 of Michael Frisk up top as they flash by the start finish line into turn number 1.
Yes, they do, and that is Joey Bailey to the inside of Michael Frisch. That is a good race there for that runner-up spot. Bailey down low, Frisch up high in that awesome-looking number 01. Remember, Todd, that car is in the running for that Owners' Championship. That number 01, I believe, was our point leader in the Owners' standings by 21 markers. So the 01 of Michael Frisch up on the top 3. We talk about the Drivers' Championship, but that Owners' Championship, that is something. And that and the team championship, those are two titles that are equally as prestigious over here at FTF.
Yeah, definitely prestigious for those drivers. And right now, the guy that was directly behind him was Taylor Morgan's in that 36 machine. That was a 21-point gap. Like you said, Morgan's out of this event here in the 36 after making a mistake there on pit road. But Michael Frisk right now running in that second spot, doing everything he can to get that owner's title in the 01. And we know he was going to fight tooth and nail here at Phoenix to try to be able to pick up that title, Phil.
Oh, absolutely right here. So we're under green flag racing here, of course. But, you know, what I'm going to do now, Todd, and it's not something that I'm happy to be doing, we're going to bring Taylor Morgans into the conversation here. Is got this thing all moved around, trying to get the channel correct. There we go. Let's bring our friend Taylor into the conversation here now, because I kind of want to hear his take on what's going on out there. Taylor Morgans, it's Phil LaCassa, Full Velocity TV, buddy. You have a copy?
How's it going, Phil?
We're doing good, bud. I want to talk to you about this, unceremonious way that your night ended. Kind of an oof moment out there for the 36 camp tonight.
Yeah, a little bit embarrassing. I hit the kill switch for a lack of a better word, or lack of a humble word, I guess. That was bad.
Yeah, it's happened to us all. We asked ourselves up here, have you ever pulled over after being involved in a wreck and, unfortunately hit the retire button when you interview the replay? We've done it. It happens to the best of the best, Taylor. But before we, let me hold you here for a second. I'm going to throw it down to Todd here. I know we're under caution now for the 11th time this evening. So, Todd, give us a quick replay here. Looks like, okay, we'll give you all right, I'll talk to Taylor for a second. All right, we're going to talk to Taylor. It was a 193 car that kind of went around here, bring out the yellow flag. But we got Taylor up here. Let's not hold Taylor up for too much longer. But, Taylor, you got to feel good now. You had your position clinched into the championship scenario next week at Homestead. It just makes that goof up. I mean, it sucks to goof, but, God, you got to be breathing easy that you make that mistake and it doesn't cost you the run of the championship.
Yeah, that was goofy, for sure. Would have liked to still be out there racing for the win, but I guess I can rest assured that I'll be there at Homestead, hopefully. Got that wreck called on me. I wish that didn't happen. Saw it a different way, but yeah, we'll go into Homestead with a really bad wreck score and hope I don't cause any more wrecks and hope I don't retire early and try to win that race, I guess.
All right, well, going to be in our championship 4. Taylor, thanks for taking a couple minutes with us here. I'm so happy that you're in the Final Four next week, because I would have hated to see the run for a championship end. Just as a mistake that we've all made 100 times. So thanks for taking a couple minutes there, bud. I'll let you get back to your team, and we'll definitely see you again next week here, and maybe a Full Velocity TV exclusive here coming up midweek. So we'll be in touch here real shortly, and thanks again for talking to us.
All right, thanks, guys. Keep up the good work.
We're definitely going to try to do our best. That's Taylor Morgans out there riding around in that number 36 car, and unfortunately looks like his night has come to that premature end, and yeah, Taylor out of the event. But Todd, I believe you may now have the caution overlay ready. Show us what happened here to the 193 once again.
Yeah, and this involves two guys that we've seen, I think, 3 times now on the film here, Phil. The 193 and the 47 of Sonny Tallman. So we're going to see the 193 come down through here. And it looks like he just drove it in pretty deep. Gets loose in contact. Pirouette spinning. Contact to the wall. We got subcompact number 47 of Sonny Tallman now. And the 193 who now pulls over and immediately goes behind the wall after causing, I believe that's going to be his second yellow flag. Maybe even his third yellow flag of the evening. Just trying to get used to everything. And I know it seems like these two guys have magnets for each other, but now the 47 Sonny Tallman can drive on without the 193 because he's now behind the wall.
Yeah, he absolutely is. And did you say subcompact there, Todd? Did you really?
Indeed, I did say subcompact there, Phil. Subcompact, Sonny Tallman.
All right, well, I think I peed a little bit on that one. As we're back to green flag racing now is Kevin McAdams and Tom Sylvain going to bring the field back to green. Tom rolling the dice up there in that Miller Genuine Draft number 2, the old Rusty Wallace throwback scheme there. Going to restart on the outside of the front row, but right away, he's going to be pounced on, stuck in the outside lane. Here comes Joey Bailey to the bottom. Here comes Michael Frisch to the middle. Almost a 3 wide, now back to 2 wide scenario as they hit turn 1.
Yeah, 3 wide wasn't going to happen for long there. Tom Sylvain right now holding on to the 3rd spot. Joey Bailey fighting tooth and nail for that 4th spot with the number 1 of Dylan Smith. Dylan Smith right now on the top side of the speedway is the 79, and Joey Bailey now works over the inside with the number 2 of Tom Sylvain. Sylvain trying to make things happen here this evening in a rare appearance here on Full Velocity TV. Rare appearance here at FTF. As now Bailey back down to the inside, drives it in as hard as he can. Sylvain looks like he's going to drift up the track a little bit more. Them older tires in that 2 machine making it rather hard to drive. Is now Michael Frisch trying to catch up with the 26 of Kevin McAdams. There's a good battle going on for 3rd too, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely right. Up high, you see the 2 car of Sylvain. He almost bounces it off the outside wall. That's going to allow Bailey to go by, the 1 of Dylan Smith now, and now here comes the 64 of Tyler Head, the 25 of Hawken, almost pouncing 3 wide. Kyle Riley's 43 also in that mix. So Tom Sylvain restarted outside pole on the restart. He's dropped all the way back now to about the 7th spot, and he may fall more as they're in the middle of 1 and 2.
Yeah, in the middle of 1 and 2, and Tyler Head trying to do everything he can here in that number 64 machine, now in that 5th spot, as he's got to win the race here this evening. Is right now he is currently 8th in the point standings, and he is the guy on the outside looking in and had no chance to probably earn the points here to get into the top 4, the final 4 of Homestead. And the number 64, Tyler Head, has to do everything he can to win this race here this evening.
Well, you got to make it happen here at Phoenix for sure. As one car getting loose up the banking there. It was a 43 of Kyle Riley. Kyle was scored there 7th last time around. He gets a little tad bit loose, opens the door up for Brandon Hawken in the number 25. They're going to be side-by-side racing for that 7th spot now as they work their way down the front stretch toward the entrance of turn 1.
Like you said, great racing going on throughout the field. As 64 Tyler Head now was down onto the bottom here. So it looks like Michael Frisch in the top spot is going to be able to slide around the 26 of Kevin McAdams. McAdams now relegated back to position number 2. The 79 of Joey Bailey running in that 3rd spot. 4th is Dylan Smith. Tyler Head 5th. 6th is Tom Sylvain. 7th is Brandon Hawken. 8th is Kyle Riley. Corey Carpenter. And the number 10 running inside the top 10 in 10th.
And Todd, I'm thinking back to 1 year ago to another car that was in that kind of win to get in scenario. Think back 1 year ago, we came out here and it was a number 71 car of Chris Wetz pulling the huge upset at Phoenix last year to advance his way to the Final Four. We may have a scenario like that beginning with the number 64 of Tyler Head. Tyler has kind of been out of the mix of the top 10 all night long, but now he is up in the top 5 and he's going to move to the low side of the 1 car of Dylan Smith. Tyler Head making that run to a championship. He's going to do it with a win here tonight. Could we maybe make it back-to-back winners here at Phoenix that may punch their ticket in that win to get in scenario? Because right now, that 64 car looks really up to the challenge.
Yeah, 64 looks like he's up to the challenge out there and trying to get that win and you're in kind of scenario is Tyler Head right there behind Dylan Smith in that number 1 and Joey Bailey in 3rd. But Michael Frisch right now currently leading this event here, Phil, and starting to pull away just a little bit from Kevin McAdams. But McAdams a tad bit faster last time by, so like you said, they're changing blows here up front, and Michael Frisch trying to hold on to the lead as much as he can.
No, he absolutely is. We're just out there. I'm kind of peeking in here to YouTube chat, and I know you got Facebook chat. I've been kind of going back and forth with Twitch TV. I'd like to thank all you guys out there for watching. I've seen a couple of new names pop into the conversation. I see Matty Ice has checked in. I know the Champ's still out there. McClintock's still out there talking. The Shermanator is out there. You guys, thanks for all the great feedback going on out there. Hope you're enjoying the show just as much as we are bringing it to you now, as we got 126 laps in the board. So we have a little less than 50 laps remaining here at Homestead as we're going to set our championship 4 here for 2 weeks at Homestead. It is currently the 0-1 of Michael Frisch out to the lead over Kevin McAdams. Joey Bailey's running 3rd. The best race on the racetrack, Todd, is for that 4th position between Dylan Smith and the 64 car of Tyler Head. Tyler keeps peeking down to the inside, but Dylan somehow finds the extra horsepower on the one car to keep that thing, up to speed of the top lane. Is once again through 1 and 2. Here comes the 64 back to the bottom. Look at the way the one shoots off this corner.
Yeah, the one shoots out the corner rather well there. The number 1, Dylan Smith, is just able to keep in the throttle a little longer than the 64 Tyler had. Had is trying to drive it in pretty deep. There that David's Sunflower machine is not able to get around the number 1 here. Now he's going to relegate himself back to P number 5. But we're looking at a nice battle here going between the 43 of Kyle Riley now, Phil, and the 30 of Corey Carpenter. Those guys both in the championship hunt, trying to get every point that is necessary here of the evening. And Corey Carpenter, he has some battle wounds on that machine. The 43 has some battle wounds. They're just trying to stay ahead here of the number 25 of Brandon Hawkins, but that's a battle going on for the 6th spot.
Absolutely. That is a good side-by-side race by a pair of championship contenders. Corey currently 4th in the standings with a 4-point margin over the 43 of Riley. So that is a good race going on side by side for 6. The only issue for Kyle there, Todd, is he does not only get ahead of the 30, he's going to gain a couple of spots on him. And the way Corey is run this evening, that's going to be tough to do if you're the 43.
Yeah, definitely going to be tough to do for Kyle Riley. Is Riley now doing a crossover move here on the number 30 of Corey Carpenter. Riley back down to the inside, side-by-side battle again with Corey Carpenter, this time on the outside. Kyle Riley on the inside in the 43 Cheerio-sponsored machine, that Ford Fusion, now making some headway on the bottom. But Corey Carpenter, I tell you what, that top side seems to be the place to be here, Phil. They're able to hold on to the momentum. And look at Brandon Hawkins. He used that to his advantage here up on the outside now of the 43 of Kyle Riley. So Hawkins now trying to fight back here inside the top 7 and battle for that 7th spot between the 25 and the 43.
And that's a pretty good battle there, Todd. Those guys all racing for position. But what has allowed, up the guys up front to do, it was 2.5 seconds when these guys started racing, is now we're going to have a caution flag as there's a big check up there down the front stretch toward turn number 1. One car was definitely around through the cloud of smoke, and not exactly sure who it was there, but we are definitely under the caution flag. Once again, I believe this would be number 12 tonight here now on lap number 132. Looks like this one may between Ryan Naraki and the 048 of John Green. Looks like may have got a piece of this one as well. So this was pretty close to a parking lot on the backstretch. Looked like the 10 may have got a piece of this one as well. So this one may kind of be unique to look at, Todd. There was a lot, it looks like, by the sound of the chat, of what was going on here. So there's going to be a lot to show with this replay. We're going to say sponsored by the guys at DirtSeries.com. We're going to thank all those guys for coming on. And once again there, I know you've been busy down there all night long pushing the buttons there, Todd. But once again, we got another replay to show, so show it off.
Yeah, as we're seeing the number 37 of Ryan Naraki here making contact here. And he did not make contact until the 048, and the rental car here this evening did not have a car for him. As the contact made, and here comes the 01 of Michael Frisk and contact with the 37 of Ryan Naraki. And, oh, man, he was the leader, Phil. This happened right in front of the leaders here. And then you see the 01 of Michael Frisk plows the inside wall here, or plows not the inside wall, but plows the number, I believe that's 37 of Ryan Naraki, like you said. And those guys make contact, and these guys all slowed down. But, man, Michael Frisk had some heavy nose damage here. Not as much as I thought he was going to, but he does have some hood pop on the 01 machine. And Ryan Naraki's car, man, is tore up.
Oh, man, I'm just seeing the hit right now. That 37 did take quite the shot there. And what was that? Was that the 01 right there? They hit the back of him, Todd? Is that where the nose damage from the 01 came from? I think it was.
Yes, indeed, it was the 01 hitting the back end, or while hitting the 37. So that's where the nose damage come on the Michael Frisk machine. Like I said, it happened right in front of him, Phil.
Oh, it sure did, and that was up there, the leader. So that's approaching lap traffic, so that definitely stinks for sure. But these guys have all come down to pit road. Not sure if we're going right back to green flag racing or what's going to happen, but all I do know is our current race leader here is we're going to get one to go at the line is number 26 of Kevin McAdams. Brandon Hawkins is currently second, and now we check that off on the screen as those guys have come down toward pit road, and Got it all reset. It's Kevin McAdams leading over Michael Frisch, Dylan Smith, Joey Bailey, Tyler Head, your current top 5. Kyle O'Reilly is 6th, Corey Carpenter 7th, Brandon Hawken 8th, Justin Malello was 9th, and Brandon Lawson, he's been kind of quiet here through the middle stages of the race. Brandon currently running 10th. Cosman is 11th, Jordan Buster 12th, Chris Wetz 13th, Zach Buchanan 14th. Andrew Schwartz is out there. He is currently 15th on the lead lap, as is Tom Sylvain, Sonny Tallman, Jake Poulin, Ryan Araki, and Zachary Stoltz. That's your top 20. Dylan Schwallenberg, he is 21st. Believe he is on the tail end of the lead lap. John Greed is 22nd. He is 1 lap down. The rest of the drivers behind the wall, their nights are over. They include Arnold Columbia's number 39, the 193 of Tyler Mallon, the 44 of Brian Mercurio, the 36 to Taylor Morgan's machine, and the number 55 of Mike Fallon. So just about 1 hour and 30 minutes ago, 27 cars started, 22 on the racetrack, 20 of them left on a lead lap. We are back to Green Flag Racing, Todd, on lap 135.
Yeah, green flag back in the air. Immediately, Kevin McAdams back to the lead, though. 1 of Michael Frisch running in that second spot. 3 wide battle for that third spot. Number 1 machine down on the bottom. That's Dylan Smith. You got Joey Bailey, now the 43 of Kyle O'Reilly, backs out of that 3 wide situation and able to pull back into that 5th spot. So now a battle going on still for 3rd as the battle for the lead starting to rage once again. Michael Frisch, that damage on the front end, not bothering him an inch.
No, it really isn't. And I thought that aerodynamics would kind of play a role in his car as well as now he drops off 2 car lengths there, but now side by side for position number 3. Joey Bailey down to the inside of the 1 of Dylan Smith. Can't find any advantage in that battle as they go through. Look at the way those guys transition through over the start-finish line, down through the front straightaway. Now side by side, it checked up Kyle O'Reilly just a bit, and that allowed, I believe, was that the 9 car of, that's a 25 of Brandon Hawken that slipped around the 43. So you see it's kind of like an accordion. These guys get stuck side by side. 1 car behind kind of has to roll out on the throttle, and it opens the door for 1 to 2 more to pounce, and that's what happened to Kyle O'Reilly right there. He cracked the gas pedal, and Brandon Hawkins stuck by to pick up 5th.
Yeah, indeed. Brandon Hawkins to get 5th is now Michael Frisch now back down to the bottom side here to try to get around the number 26 of Kevin McAdams. Side-by-side battle for the lead. Meanwhile, we got a side-by-side battle for that 3rd spot, so it's going to be rather interesting to see how that's going to happen and how this is all going to emerge. Is now down the back straightaway here into turn number 3. Michael Frisch has to back out of it, gets back in line behind McAdams, but McAdams drifts up the track just a little bit, and that leaves the door wide open for the 01. He comes down onto the apex here, onto the apron of the 01, and so he's trying to fight side by side once again, but can he get the grip down there? Can Michael Frisch get the grip? And it's going to be answered here down the back straightaway as Kevin McAdams is down on that throttle and going to be able to stay in front of the 01 machine.
But you could definitely drive the car deep into these corners, as you certainly could see, and definitely turn 3, you could really drive it in pretty deep. But the problem is it looks like that top lane has a lot of grip to it. You can see all night long we've seen Dylan Smith power out of that corner. McAdams just make it work up high. Brandon Hawkins really did a good job up there. So the 01, you can get down there. The question is, can you complete the pass to this juncture now at 140 laps on the board? The answer is no. McAdams right now looks to be in complete control of this one.
Yeah, indeed, McAdams in complete control. His last time by 26.487 was his quick time. That's 136.327 miles per hour. Michael Frisch last time by 26.523, 135.772 miles per hour. So a little bit of difference between the 26 and the 01 as McAdams now starting to motor away here in that Dorito-sponsored machine.
Yes, he is. About 3 car lengths now off of the corner. Keep looking at that race for 3rd. And it kind of seems like a race that keeps trying to happen and keeps stalling out. And Dylan Smith holds it there in that hugs number 1. But Joey Bailey, 79, keeps pulling down to the inside, just like you see Frisch doing up front. He just can't get that steam rolling in the inside lane to keep the throttle down there. So that's fallen back to single file. But now a race going on for position number 6, Corey Carpenter. He has swung to the inside of Kyle O'Reilly. He completes the pass now off of turn number 4. Put Corey back up now to that 6th spot. He's going to try to move forward. Kyle O'Reilly slipping back to that 7th position.
Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly right now trying to do everything he can to get as many points as he can. In the 30 of Corey Carpenter right now doing everything he can. And now he's up to that 6th spot. So trying to get himself here into Homestead in that number 30 machine. We're going to have to wait and see who that final four is going to be. Phil, I wish we had a calculator that would automatically calculate where everybody was here at the time that they were running right now, including stage points. You can remember the 26 Kevin McAdams picked up stage 1 win and stage 2 win, so he's looking for the clean sweep here tonight.
Well, he really is, and he's got those car length advantage now over Michael Frisch's machine, just kind of trying to peek on back and try to find some really good racing going on. And I think I found one here that's I found the 9 car of Brandon Lawson. He was tied up in a battle there with the 64 of Tyler Head and the 8 car of Jordan Buster behind them. Those three were right together, but now as I find that battle, those guys have sorted their way out as they head now into turn number 3 and 4. Brandon right there in the middle. Tyler Head up ahead there as well. So there's good racing going on all over the place right now, Todd. I'm going to try to sprinkle on back to the field, and we can cover some really good side-by-side battles.
Yeah, I'm still covering that third place battle. This is the number 79 of Joey Bailey down to the inside once again of the number 1 of Dylan Smith. Side-by-side battle here for the third spot. Bailey looks like he's going to be able to complete the pass this time, sliding up in front of Dylan Smith. Put him to P number 3 as Joey Bailey now sets his sights on the top 2 running cars, Michael Frisch and the 26 of Kevin McAdams. Here comes Brandon Hawken. Hawken now is lurking in the shadows here. He's got the number 1 of Dylan Smith now looking to try to get himself into that 4th spot.
Yeah, he really is. Hawken run down that 1 machine there. And Brandon, he's been really good here these last couple of weeks here on Full Velocity TV and FTF. He's been a contender up front for a win each and every week here, as has McAdams, as had Michael Frisch. We've seen Isaac Ann dominate the last 2 weeks as well. But, yeah, right now it's McAdams and Frisch up front. But that race there for third, Joey Bailey has it now. Dylan Smith slipping back to 4th. And here comes Hawken to the low side as they hit turn 1. Can Brandon Hawken complete the pass down low?
Hawken right now side by side with the 1 of Dylan Smith. Hawken now going to drift up in front of him just like the Joey Bailey machine did just a little bit ago, as Dylan Smith now going to drop back to that 5th spot, going to come under fire from the number 30 of Corey Carpenter. So we'll see if Carpenter can do more of the same here to Dylan Smith and try to get himself inside the top 5 in that Sunoco sponsor machine. Meanwhile, battle for raging up front here. I believe it's between, again, Kevin McAdams and Michael Frisch. Frisch right now down to the bottom side. The 26 of Kevin McAdams running in the middle now, Phil. So Frisch starting to get a little bit faster here towards the longer part of this event. Is right now last time by 26.765, 134.544 miles an hour to Kevin McAdams, 134.223 miles per hour. So Frisch's a little bit faster here as the race keeps going.
Yeah, and this time by, we're going to put 150 on the board, so 25 laps around. 25 miles remaining here in the Shadow Hart 175 at the ISM Raceway, currently led by that 26 of Kevin McAdams. Can Michael Frisch make something happen in that 01 car? That car looking for an owner's championship and doing all the right things up there in that 2nd spot. Joey Bailey currently runs 3rd. Brandon Hawken is 4th. That good race is still going on back there for 5th between the Dylan Smith number 1 and the 30 car of Corey Carpenter. Corey would love a solid top 5 finish here in Phoenix tonight. He's going to bring that Sunoco Chevrolet down to the low side. Big drag race down the backstretch.
Yeah, drag race down the back straightaway here into turn number 3. Corey Carpenter on the bottom side. Sunoco sponsored machine. The Hugs car up on the top shelf of the speedways. Corey Carpenter trying to methodically get by that number 1 machine, and he's going to be able to do so. He completes the pass, puts himself into position number 5 there. And that number 30 machine, so the 1 now of Dylan Smith, fell back to that 6th spot. Looks like, Phil, that these guys are starting to fight back here. The 1 trying to go back to the top side, though, not able to do anything that time by.
No, and I've kind of just been bruising down toward pit road, Todd. I've seen a couple of drivers come onto pit road, and amongst those that have are the 43 car of Kyle Riley. He is racing for a championship here, so I'm kind of wondering if on the last restart, if these guys could get an entire run in on tires, because I'm kind of puzzled why the 43 would come onto pit road. I'm going to assume they're to take those 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles and try to capitalize on some track position, but I just wonder if these guys may be short from here. If anybody out there watching on Facebook or on YouTube can maybe check in and maybe answer that question, I'm going to do some investigative reporting down here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys are going to play. Like the 43 of Kyle Riley, he's on the outside looking in. He's got to throw everything he can at it, and looks like he's going to short pit here in the 43 machine, so going to use that advantage maybe to pick up a little bit extra time there on the speedway. He knows that the other drivers are going to be able to run him down, though, but clean and green the rest of the way might be an advantage there for Kyle O'Reilly. We'll have to wait and see. As now, meanwhile, a battle for that top spot still heating up as Michael Frisch down on the bottom. The 26 of Kevin McAdams. They're side by side, almost coming off the corner here. Almost contact made. McAdams gets a little bit loose in that Doritos machine. But one of Michael Frisch backs out of it there and allows Kevin McAdams to gather it back up.
And Todd, we do have cars down on pit road. I saw the 30 peel in. I saw the 79 of Joey Bailey peel in as well. So what I was hearing, these guys are probably about 10 to 12 laps short on fuel. So why not split that difference in half? Come on to pit road. Let's cover the 79 of Joey Bailey. I know Nick Baker is out there watching his car go round and round, half in the top 5. Looks like it's going to be 2 right side tires. They'll swing over 4 tires for Joey Bailey's Valvoline machine. He's going to get 4 tires. He'll return to the race. Also 4 tires, it looks like. Was that a 25? No, it wasn't a 25. It was a 30 of Corey Carpenter in for 4. Jordan Buster's in for 4. And I believe that was Ryan Araki rolling away down here as well. So pit road is definitely open for these guys. I just saw the 9 of Brandon Lawson peek by. He all getting 4 tires.
Here comes Kevin McAdams down to pit road, and he has to slow it down here right before that yellow line to get down to speed here. McAdams coming to the aid of his pit crew, and I almost guarantee you 4 fresh Goodyear Feel Goods, Goodyear Eagles, whatever you want to call them, there for that number 26 of Kevin McAdams down on pit road. We're watching him come down through here. We're going to wait for him to come to his pit stall here, and it's a long ways down pit road for the 26 of Kevin McAdams. He's all the way on the other end of pit road here. In the number 1 pit stall is Kevin McAdams, so it looks like work going to go on him. Right side tires up in the air. Looks like they're going to complete the work here on the right side. Drop the jack over to the left side. Left side tires here for the number 26 machine of McAdams. The 25 of Brandon Hawkins down in the way. Looks like he took 2 tires is the call for that machine. And Kevin McAdams down and away in the 26.
Yeah, it was 2 tires on that number 25. I believe it was 4 tires of a 24 of Cosman on this end of pit road as well. Evan Smith has come on. It looks like 4 tires. So seeing a lot of these guys starting to peek onto the pit lane. We saw our race leader McAdams there, and I believe now our current race leader, Michael Frisch of the 01 Todd, he's on pit road.
Yeah, Michael Frisch down on pit road. Now we got the 64. Meanwhile, leading this event here, Phil, Tyler Head right now is trying to do everything he can to maybe try to get himself a victory here. And now the 43, and you're watching the 25 and the 43. They're flashing by this guy. That's what those 4 feel goods do to these machines, is they're just quite a bit faster there. And Tyler Head right now out to lunch, and he's doing everything he can. He kind of made his bed here in that 64 machine, so he's probably praying for a yellow flag there in that 64. Not sure where Phil went there, as we threw it to him, and I don't know if he fell out of his chair there in the Phil Lacasse out there on the call. Maybe his microphone broke. We're going to have to hurry up and get him another microphone out there. Meanwhile, battle's still heating up as Justin Malello still running in that second spot. Malello in the 53 machine. So it's Tyler Head and Malello out there all by them lonesome. And they did not go down pit road so far. So we're going to have to wait and see when they're going to come down pit road. They're losing precious seconds, precious time out there on the speedway with these guys with fresh Goodyear Eagles. Is 27.901 for Tyler Head last time by. Let's take a look at Kevin McAdams. 26.440. So again, 8 miles an hour difference between Kevin McAdams and Tyler Head right now on the field.
Yeah, Tyler Head is currently leading the field there. Todd, I got to apologize. I think I lost you there for a minute. We don't have the Hollywood Hotel or, that pit road, break to bring in. Nature had to call over here. I just couldn't do any more. I was holding the last 20 laps, so getting myself settled back in. But, yeah, up front, it is the 64 of Tyler Head, the 53 of Justin Malello, rolling the dice. I know they can't make it on field from here. They're going to have about 10 laps to go here on the next way by. You can't imagine those guys can save enough. I think Tom Silvano is also in that mix, so I think all those guys now have surrendered their way to the pit lane. Let's cover Malello's stop as he's, trying to race his way into the Final Four next week. He's got right side tires up on the air on that FedEx Chevrolet. Right side tires are on. A little bit, late on that one. He drops a jack. 2 right side tires. Malello going to be down and away. Let's see if right sides can help him out.
definitely going to be different to see all the different strategies. We've seen 4 tires, we've seen 2 tires, we've seen guys come down on pit road here rather quickly. As looks like Brandon Hawkins and Kevin McAdams right now. Those guys, once it recycles through, those guys are going to be your race leaders. So again, we're going to have to wait and see what happens here as the 43 Kyle Riley came in early, and it does not look like it benefited him as much as he would have liked here running in that 6th spot. So it is going to be indeed Kevin McAdams with the race lead after everything cycles through. The 25 of Brandon Hawkins going to be in that 2nd spot. 3rd is going to be Ryan Naraki in that 37 machine.
Yeah, Ryan's rebounded nicely here too, and I'm not quite so sure if he's playing a little bit of a little dice with some strategy or if he just driven that car up through the field here. But yeah, Ryan Naraki nonetheless, that Family Dollar machine, definitely looks like a subcompact, but, he is running up in that 3rd spot. But now as Frisch is driven by him, Joey Bailey going to drive by, and now it looks like is that the one of Dylan Swift to the inside. So Naraki playing a little bit of strategy game. Looks like he's going to surrender the position. So he was up in 3rd. Looks like he'll drop all the way down back to the 6th spot.
Yeah, Phil, now under 10 laps to go here. Michael Frisch makes contact there with the 25 of Brandon Hawkins as leaves the door wide open for the 79 of Joey Bailey. So Bailey now in the positions here is Hawkins all kinds out of shape here. He took 2 tires, so that's going to be probably his downfall here this evening. Sideways, almost hit Michael Frisch. Able to gather it back as Hawkins now going to lose 2 positions here. Bailey now up to 3rd, but Brandon Hawkins one well of a save in that 25 machine.
No, it really was. Now Bailey going to come to the inside of Michael Frisch. Those guys are going to go side by side for what is now going to be the runner-up position while these guys are battling tooth and nail for 2nd. Kevin McAdams has driven away. Last time around, it was 1.761 seconds. You got to think this time by it's got to grow a little bit as those guys are just racing for their life back there as they hit the start-finish line this time around. I want to see what the interval is here. 1.968. So McAdams picking up well over 0.2 of a second, by the way. These guys are racing back there, and at this point, you got to go. I mean, you got you got McAdams up there who's definitely going to race, it looks like, in Homestead next week for a championship. But you got guys like Frisch and Bailey and Hawkins, even Dylan Smith running in the top 5. None of those guys in here running for the driver points. The 01 racing for an owner's championship, but those guys up there, they only have one thought in mind right now, and that's go up there and win. Tough to do when you got a guy like McAdams out front with now 5 laps remaining.
Yeah, McAdams has dominated here tonight in dominating fashion. He's led 113 laps here. The next closest guy, I believe, was 27 laps, and he's no longer in this race. So 15 laps by Michael Frisch and 13 by Joey Bailey. So, dominating performance for Kevin McAdams. He's led over half the laps here, Phil, tonight, and he's just going to show that what he's going to have here at Homestead in the later portions of 2 weeks from now. So we'll see with the momentum that Kevin McAdams has here. I'm not going to say that he's won this race. He has won 2 stages. So it's still Michael Frisch trying to track down Kevin McAdams. But McAdams, he's indeed running off into the sunset here. Is 2.270 ahead of Michael Frisch right now.
Yeah, absolutely right. As I got that 2-second advantage over Michael Frisch. Couple car lengths back as now they're working lap traffic there. 1 car up the racetrack. I think that's a 2 of Tom Sylvain. They're flashing by, so they put a couple of more cars down, a lap down. But can update Kyle Riley's status there, Todd. He pitted on there early, hoping to make it happen with a gamble, and Kyle now running back in the 16th position. So what was a game try and a run here to make the Final 4. I don't think it's going to happen for him now, as he's currently back there running now 16th with a little less than 3 laps remaining here in Phoenix.
Yeah, right side tire blown on the number 43 machine as he's coming down onto pit road, so his hopes going to end. They're going to be dashed here at Phoenix for the 43 of Kyle Riley. Like you said, he tried everything he could. He threw everything at him, but the kitchen sink there, Phil. I believe we got 2 laps here remaining, pretty close to 2 laps remaining here for these guys, as I'm getting kind of confused with the track layout as I've been going back and forth. White flag is now in the air, Phil.
White flag on the speedway here this time around. Going to be one more trip around this 1 mile speedway as they work their way now down the back straightaway into turn number 3 here. They're going to hit the start-finish line. Going to be white flag up this time around. That was Popsicle Sticks there last time. One more trip around for Kevin McAdams, trying to peek his way here for the race championship, or racing on next week at Homestead. Michael Frisch there 2nd, Joey Bailey's 3rd, Dylan Smith 4th, Brandon Hawkins up on the top 5, racing for You know, that championship implications there. Corey Carpenter running 6th over Brandon Lawson. Cosman's currently running 9th. Looks like those guys may be comfortable as they hit that backstretch here for the final time. Checker flag up in the air. It is going to be Kevin McAdams. He wins the Shadow Hart 175.
Yeah, Kevin McAdams going to pick up the victory. Second is going to belong to Michael Frisch. Third is going to be Joey Bailey. Dylan Smith going to round up fourth. Fifth is going to be Brandon Hawkin. Sixth, Corey Carpenter. Seventh, Brandon Lawson. Cosman finishing up eighth. Ninth is going to be Andrew Schwartz. 10th, Zach Buchanan. 11th, Jake Poulin. 12th is going to be Jordan Buster. Dylan Swellenberg, Indy number 10, going to finish up 13th. Tyler Head, 14th. 15th, Justin Malello. Tom Sullivan, Zach Schultz, Ryan Naraki, Kyle Riley. Chris Wetz is going to be your top 20 as Kevin McAdams burns him down, and he has all the right to burn him down here in Phoenix as he led 119 laps. Total dominating performance for Kevin McAdams as he checks marks and gets all the momentum going into Homestead.
Oh, absolutely does here. Picking up the win here tonight. The only driver of those 4 guys racing for a championship that can honestly say that he is going to have, that momentum carrying into next week here at the Homestead of Miami Speedway. So that's going to be huge. So we'll definitely talk to Kevin and Victory Lane about that. Big Mo now trying to get down here and get our top 3 squared away. We'll get Michael Frisch into the conversation as well. Also get Joey Bailey. So I'm scrambling down here, Todd, to get up the top 3, and we will also talk to maybe a couple of our Final 4 drivers there, Todd. So I'm going to try to get these guys worked out.
As you do that, Phil, I'm getting everything ironed out here on the control board, just making sure that everything is locked and loaded here for our Victory Lane ceremonies. As Phil gets those guys ready, locked, and loaded, we should be able to interview some of our contenders here for Homestead here in 2 weeks. Don't forget about that. Date has changed from next week to 2 weeks from tonight. Here at Homestead, Miami, FTF will crown their champion, and we're down to the final 4. So we're just going to wait for what Justin Malello has to say here. We're going to make sure we got those guys locked and loaded as we're getting ready to go to Victory Lane and get the 3rd place and 2nd place running guys.
All right, so I got
going off in the background, Phil.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Todd. Thought you threw it to me down here. There's a lot going on, a sound around me communicating with all these guys, but I've got 3rd place Joey Bailey down here. And Joey, buddy, tell us about how cool this racetrack was. It looked like a hell of a lot of fun out there, but tell us about that car you had underneath you tonight. You had a really good Valvoline machine.
Yeah, it was a unique racetrack. Same old Phoenix as usual, but restarts are definitely wild. I was kind of surprised to see the outside lane work there. Eventually overtime, I was just never comfortable enough to get up there. But yeah, the Baker Racing 79 Chevy was pretty good tonight.
No, it really was, and Nick was out there cheering you on all night long there, Joey. But talk about how this racetrack really fared. It looks like the top lane had all the really good grip up there to really get the motor off the corner, but you were one of the few guys able to make the passes down low. Tell us about that, because you were one of the few guys who could really make that stick down there and make it happen.
Yeah, I've always been known as a bottom feeder, so that's definitely my comfort zone, but I just tried to use the apron to heat up my right rear a little bit and just keep that hot because I didn't want to get my right front too hot, and I felt like that's what was going to happen if I moved up there.
Well, Joey did an awesome job out here tonight representing the Baker Motorsports team of the 79. So what we always do here on Full Velocity TV, and I think you've done this a few times before, so you'll know, I'm going to give you the mic one final time. Any friends, family, or sponsors out there watching, we've had great crowds watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch TV, so give them all a shout-out now there, bud.
Yeah, obviously, I messed up the team name. It's NB Motorsports. Sorry, Baker. But him and all the NR 2003 leagues and everyone online, and hopefully my car owner in real life, Alan Mollett's watching somewhere.
Well, we'll hope Alan's watching as well. Well, congratulations, bud. That's a really good 3rd place run for you. And I know, will we see you next week in Homestead?
Yeah, I think I'll be there. Not sure what car, but I'll definitely be there.
All right. Well, that's our good buddy Joey Bailey. We'll let him go back to his team down here and celebrate with all the guys. But, yeah, he brings that thing home tonight in position number 3. I'm going to run a little further down pit road, and this one's going to take a little while there, Todd, as we're going to talk to a couple of guys down here. But let's bring Mr. Frisch into the conversation. Michael, buddy, a really solid run for you. Did you have anything left you could throw at the McAdams car up there racing for the lead? He was really good all night long, but we know you had some contact earlier on with, I think it was the back of the 37 there through an earlier wreck. Did that nose damage hurt the progress to race McAdams for the win?
No, I didn't really get no damage out of that. I just didn't know what they were doing on the backstretch there. It seemed like they were going to stay up high, and then all of a sudden they just came down low, and I really had nowhere to go. But no, we didn't get no damage from that. From that last run, Kevin got through the cars a lot faster than I did, and I had to use a lot more of my tires. And then me and 25 had a little bit of contact. Maybe that's what threw my shot at a win tonight, but I felt like I could have hang with Kevin tonight for sure.
Well, you had a great run for you, Michael, as always. And as we've talked to you a couple of times now over these last couple of weeks, you guys got that 01 car racing for an owner's championship, so you got to think mission accomplished here tonight, finishing up second.
Almost. We almost got it done. We got to worry about that 9 car next week. He can still attack here, but we're really worried about Taylor because he's always up front there running. Always kicking off fast lap times, for sure. But our big worry is out of the way now. We don't have to worry about him.
I think that's a pretty good scenario right there, bud. Well, congratulations once again there on a second-place finish. You know the drill here by now. I'm going to give you the mic this one last time, and we've had a great crowd watching this evening, so if anybody out there you want to give a shout-out to or thank, do it right now there, bud.
All my boys, man, who cheer me on every week and just come out to watch me in this 01 go for the Owners Championship, man. That's what it's all about. True North Motorsports. But I thank them, man, and my boys over at Clout.
They take good care of you for sure. Well, that is Michael Frisch. He finishes up here in the number 2 position tonight in the 01 car, so we'll let him get back to his team. And Todd, I'm going to throw it down to you in victory lane now. I know we got a couple more guys we're going to catch up with here on the post-race show, but you were in victory lane where all the fireworks are going off, so you got our race winner, Kevin McAdams, down there.
Yeah, down here in victory lane as the fireworks going off there. Had to wait for a moment with the number 26 of Kevin McAdams picking up the victory in a dominating fashion, leading 119 laps tonight of 175. And you can't say short of an exclamation point here to get into Homestead. You have all the momentum. Kevin, tell us about that race.
Well, before this race, I'd say I was uphill with the creek in the whatever that whole saying is, up creek without a paddle. I was pretty bad luck the whole entire postseason. So coming here, I knew I was strong. I've always been good at the flat tracks, and it's a track that I really do enjoy, especially since they reconfigured it back about 6 years ago. When Taylor came up the first time, I was still as fast as him, and I guess he caused a wreck and fell out of the race. And then Frisch came up, and Frisch was stupid fast on a long run, one of the runs before the last restart. And I realized that I killed my right front tire racing him, so I kind of just backed it off a bit. And that last run, I just pulled away from him, and we've somehow pulled it out. I'm beyond thankful that I got some momentum going into Homestead.
Yeah, definitely, Kevin. Momentum is on your side here going into Homestead. And tell us about the track, Homestead, going into that. I know you've been a part of these championship hunts before. How much in favor do you think it's going to be for Homestead for you to pick up that championship here at FTF?
Well, last year we came up a little bit short. 2016, I wasn't in it because I took a little bit of a hiatus, but I won the race in 2016. And then 2015, I won the championship, finishing second to good old Taylor Morgans, who wasn't in the championship, who won it last year. So I know who I have to beat. It's going to be a little different configuration. You can hear my bird back there, but it's going to be an interesting race. I think running the high line is going to be the most important place to be. It always is at Homestead, but we're excited.
Definitely excited to be a part of it here on Full Velocity TV. Kevin, I'm going to give you the microphone. The floor is all yours. Thank you, or would like to thank here this evening.
Well, I just want to congratulate the Final Four. Everyone that's made it has worked their asses off, and they deserve to be there. I want to say good luck to everybody. I hope I pull it out next week. I know Taylor's the man to beat. I just gotta beat him on the long runs, but I gotta say that Cosman and Corey Carpenter are right there. They can pull it out. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in these races. But I want to thank everyone that's come all these months, despite all the issues, despite all the arguments, despite all the drama and implications. It's been a long season. It's been a very hard-fought season for everyone that's been here. I want to thank the staff who stick it out every week and deal with all the issues that we have to deal with on the back end, on the front end, after races, before races, preparing everything as far as the track goes, as far as getting the points situated. It's a hard thing. It's hard every week, and it's something that we enjoy. But we got one more week here. Thanksgiving weekend, we're going to take a week off for the actual race, and then we're off to Homestead, as they say.
Oh, again, Kevin McAdams picking up the victory here tonight at Phoenix and locking himself there into Homestead, is taking the clean sweep here, winning Stage 1, Stage 2, and Stage 3. Kevin McAdams in the number 26 Doritos picking up the win here tonight, Phil, and I'm going to throw it back up to you. I believe you're going to catch up with some more guys, maybe in Justin Malalo here, have our final update with the top 4.
Well, we do have our update with the top 4. We have talked to Taylor already tonight. We know who is going to advance. And we have talked to Mr. McAdams, who certainly got in there. Now, let's talk to our third of our 4, championship contenders here at Homestead. Let's bring Cosman into the conversation. Cosman, it's Phil for Full Velocity TV, my friend. Do you have your ears on?
Hi, Phil. I can hear you loud and clear. What's
All
up?
right, buddy. Well, we're doing good out there. You had an interesting night for you. You came in 16 points to the good as far as advancing to Homestead. You were up in the top 5 for Summer Night, but Summer Night you were back there 15th place on back. How much did you panic at all this evening?
I was really heated in the first stage, made some contact with a few people there, but after that I decided to just calm down, save my tires, and run my own pace, run my own race, let everyone go who was trying to be too aggressive, and in the end it paid out for me. I'm in the Final Four, and will we go to Homestead?
Yeah, you finish up third there out of those top 4, Cosman. Now talk about going into Homestead next week where it's you versus the other 3 guys going out there racing for the championship. Not only you got to race the other 3, then you got the other competitors that come out there in a completely unknown racetrack next week. What are you thinking going into Homestead?
Well, it's not going to be much different than a usual FTF race here. The best of the best are going to be at the front. I'm talking about Kevin and Taylor, of course. They've won most of these races. They're the ones who we have to beat. We know that, and my plan for next week, just have a mistake-free race and hope they don't. It's really hard to beat them on speed alone. They got us outclassed.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and Cosman, you've been good all season long. You advance your way into the Final Four at Homestead, so I can't wait to get there next week and see how this thing plays out. But if we don't get to talk to you here, over the course of the race next weekend, I want to give you the floor one final time here. Any friends or family or sponsorship out there you got to thank, or anybody out there, a great crowd watching on YouTube, on Facebook, or on Twitch TV. So anybody out there to say hello to, the floor is all yours, bud.
Well, we could say thank you to our team, my teammates, Justin, Ryan, Kevin. They've done great all year. They helped me out at Talladega. That's the only reason why I'm in the Final Four, to be honest. Their help there, and gotta thank all the Splashingo guys. They've put a great mod for you guys to watch and race, and they've helped me out a lot, just like you guys. I hope you put on a good show tonight and hope you had fun. The whole season's been really fun, so thanks to all the FTF guys hosting the races every week and sticking with it. So
thank you for all you do for all of us too as well. You do so much for this community as well, Cosman. So well, great to talk to you as always, buddy. We'll talk to you next week in Homestead. Give it hell next week.
Same to you. Have a good night.
All right, Cosman going to walk away here in that championship playoff here, the Final Four. So we have talked to the first 3 that are locked in. Let's talk to the fourth driver locked in here to Homestead last week, and we make that our last interview of the night. We leave Corey Carpenter for last. Corey, congratulations, man. You're into the Final Four of Homestead. Your thoughts?
It's pretty awesome, honestly. I was going into this race. I don't really feel strong at this racetrack, and I mean, I just tried to run with no mistakes and try not to get myself wrecked, try not to wreck anybody. I just wanted to have a solid race, and turns out I had some pretty good speed too. So when we went green, I had no problems running around people, passing people. Just had to keep the 43 and the 9 in my sights, and I figured I was good.
Well, you did exactly that all night long. Not only did you keep them in sight, you stayed ahead of them all night long. And knowing on the complete unknown here tonight of a completely, unforeseen racetrack here, it's the same old typical Phoenix, but the different layout here, the banking scenario, the way it takes the transition now through the kink that is called the front stretch. How much anxiety did you feel coming into the night, knowing that you had the new racetrack to deal with and an untested setup at that rate, and then talk about the 4-point margin you had over Kyle, the 6-back to Brandon and to Justin? I mean, how much is that all going through your head leading up to this event?
Well, I was pretty down after last week whenever I had so many playoff points over those guys, and I blew it all away and had I really had I did not have a trouble-free race the last 2 races. So coming out, I didn't really feel any anxiety. I wasn't really that worried. I feel confident in my abilities. Feel like I shouldn't be here if I wasn't confident, but I did have a pretty big burn on my left thumb last night, and I can't really squeeze the wheel the way I want to. So that was my biggest trouble all night, was just trying not to have too much pain there. It was getting pretty irritating at the very end, so I'm glad that race ended.
Well, absolutely right. Well, Corey, congratulations, man. A full season coming to fruition. You were going to race as part of that Final Four at Homestead in 2 weeks, but I know you got a lot of people out there that have helped you get all the way here this season. You got a lot of family out there, friends watching, sponsorship or teammates out there. So I'm going to give you the mic that one last time to give them all a shout out here. We've been live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV, so we got a great audience out there watching. Why don't you say hello to all of them now?
Yeah, of course. Thanks everybody watching. I mean, I say this every time I'm on here, but it's incredible the amount of support NR 2003 still gets. And I just thanks to my teammates. I mean, I've learned a lot. I'm sure everybody notices every time we come to any racetrack, Taylor Morgans and Kevin are the guys to beat. So having Taylor on my team for this season has really helped me out and get me more consistent on the long run. I feel like I've always had a good short run car and a good hot lap speed, but I've always struggled on the long run, and this season I've gotten a lot better, and I think it showed. I'm in the Final Four, so thanks to Taylor and Brandon and Jordan for being good teammates. I don't know if y'all have mentioned it at all, but we've come back from about 700 points in the team championship, and now we're leading, so that's good. The team's showing up every week, and thanks to everybody who's watching. I'm sure people watch my streams and watch this stream in particular, and everybody, anybody who supports FTF, thank you.
All right, well, that's our buddy Corey Carpenter. He races his way on to Homestead next week, joining, Taylor, of course, Kevin McAdams, our race winner tonight, and Cosman. So that is going to be a lot of fun here to watch in 2 weeks of Homestead, Todd. But before we talk about Homestead, we've also got one more battle to work out as far as the Owners' Championship goes. So I'm going to bring Justin into the conversation now. We're talking about, we know the Final Four going in here for the Drivers' Championship, but Justin, tell us about where the owner points sit for next week.
It's going to be a close one. Well, it may or may not be a close one. It depends on how well the 01 does. It's definitely within reach for the 9 and the 36. Anything can happen, but the 01 has taken a pretty decent lead here. They lead the 9 by 72 points, and they lead the 36 by 106 points. Unfortunately, with Taylor having his retirement tonight, and the 01 having, just a spectacular night, finishing in second place. Brandon was already 44 points or so behind, and he lost another almost 30 points on him. So, 30 points, and Brandon finished 7th, so anything is possible. It could be as if Brandon goes on to win the race and the 01 finishes 10th next week, that could be it. So anything can happen there with that. I also have team point updates with the finishes tonight. Mile, Send, High, whatever, Uh, they got 296 points tonight for their 6th and 7th place finishes, and Speed Inc. got 300 and hold on, I have it written down here. Where'd it go? Speed Inc. got 332 points tonight for their 1st and 8th place finishes. So the gap going into Homestead goes from 61 points down to 25. So 25 points between the two teams. That's a matter of like 2 or 3 finishing positions between drivers. So it's up in the air. Anybody can win it next week. It's going to be really exciting to be a part of that. Disappointing for my own season being cut short tonight, but at least I got something to drive for next week.
Oh, absolutely right. You know, you guys have so much going on, not only the driver's title, but the owner's championship and that team points. And I know those team championships are always something that Speed Inc. goes for every year. And you guys also got 2 really good bullets out there. You got Kevin and Cosman out there racing in 2 weeks. You got 50% of that field. You got to feel good about that.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely been really fun all season long. And I just, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be sad, and I'm going to be, equally as excited to get everything done and over with. It's been an incredible season for both its highs and its lows, and really glad to have been a part of it.
Oh, we all are as well. We have to thank you, Justin, for allowing us to be a part of these last 9 weeks. And we get the breather next week with the holiday, and you guys going down to Homestead having a good party. So have fun down there in Miami, buddy. And we'll talk to you back here in 2 weeks when we get to Miami, and we'll crown a champion. Good luck, and thanks again for all you do for us.
Thank you guys for all you do, and I'll see you in 2 weeks at Homestead.
You absolutely will. So Justin Mueller, Todd, he gives us not only our owners' championship standings, but also the team standings, and those are getting both really close. We have a lot to race for. We get to Miami in 2 weeks.
Definitely have to agree with you as the fireworks continue to go off here in the background, Phil, and a fantastic showing here for FTF. Final 4 locked in, and I believe my predictions were all right there, Phil, here about 3 or 4 weeks ago. It may have even been 5 weeks ago when I made my predictions. Is all 4 of those guys that I had predicted to go into the Final 4. And who's it going to be here at Homestead in 2 weeks? I'm going to leave it up to everybody here. I'd like to see everybody's ideas out here on Full Velocity, even see what those guys can think. Maybe who can predict who's going to win out. Taylor Morgan's, Kevin McAdams. Maybe we'll put a poll up, Phil. Maybe we will. We'll put up a poll. We're going to see who the fans think are going to win here, FTF-wise, and see who's going to bring home the championship here this year on Full Velocity TV.
I can't wait to get to the Homestead Miami Speedway in 2 weeks, but there is so much racing going on live on Full Velocity TV before now and then, of course, back on the airwaves 2 nights from now on a Tuesday night. We go back over to the Jackpot Modified Series, a D1RT Jackpot Modified Series presented by VLR. We'll find out what racetrack goes on there on Tuesday night because it's the Jackpot Modified Series. The track does not get selected until about 15 minutes before showtime, so be on the lookout for that Tuesday night. Wednesday night, a big race for DWR. We'll be back over there for some Wednesday night street fights going on there. Catch up with all those guys as we've seen some really good races here over the last couple of weeks. And then back on Thursday, we head back over to our friends at DirtSeries.com. Got a shout out to Earl and Josh and Jameson, the entire gang over at DirtSeries.com that do so much for us. Looking forward to getting back over there for the Pro versus Late Model Series coming up on Thursday night. We go back to Hard Motorsports on Saturday night, and then we get a couple of days off before we come back to that whole week freight again. So we have a lot of racing left to go, and can't wait to do it all and show it off here on live on Full Velocity TV. So for all of our guys behind the scenes, we got Martin Karch, Jake Keel, my partner Todd Stanton, Phil Lacasse here signing off for Full Velocity TV. We'll see you back here on Tuesday night for more dirt track racing out in the iRacing world. Good night, everybody.